はい、戻りました。ここから司会私、天ゆきでお送りいたします。続いて
All
の
right,
作
it
品
looks
は
like
ド
we
ラ
are
ゴンバ
ready
ラーカ
for
テゴ
our
リー。
sponsored ad.
な
So
んだろ
let's
うこ
go
れ。
ahead and give that a watch.
待ってね。何パーセントパス。
Okay, Crosscode looks like a really cool game. I can't wait to check that out. And with that,
2%。
that is
うん。
the
こ
end
ちら
of
解説の
my
方いらっしゃい
hosting
ませ。
duty. You
だ
will
から普
see
通
me
に
again
RT や
along
ったこ
with
とあるよ。普
Blaze
通にゲームやったこ
doing
とあるよっていう
small
方、
run. I believe that's on
解説
Thursday.
の方を
So you've
ご
not
応
heard the
募お待
last
ちしてお
of
りま
me.
す。いや、
In the meantime, I'm going to throw this over to
ディス
our
コードで喋る
host
都合上、
coming up,
喋るの恥ず
Red
かしいよって方
Silvers,
いましたら、普通
who
に
will
チ
be
ャットでア
joining
シ
us
ストしていた
after
だいて
these
も構い
Twitch
ません。
ads. And again, if you
特
don't
に
want to
私
see
が
these
嬉しい
ads,
で
feel
す。
free to subscribe, and then you can jam along to the music instead. So thank you so much, and good night.
そうですね。そうですね。ちょっと、ウィキペディアをちょうど今開いてるところなんですけど、ドラゴンバラーは1985年に稼働したドラゴンバスターの世界観を元にした作品でありますが、システム、ストーリーともにほとんど別の作品であります。ルームガーダーやマジックアイテムのほとんどが消滅した一方、8種類の魔法やパラメータをアップさせるアイテムの売買用なアイテムがたくさん登場しております。また 3D 化に伴いアクション面の強化が図られております。結構いろいろ手こ入れされたんですね。うん。で、ストーリーもちょっと読みましょうか。ウィキペディアそのまま読ませていただきます。この世界では人の知らないところでドラゴンとそれを滅ぼす滅竜種との戦いが繰り広げられていた。ある滅竜種は魔剣アゾスを手にドラゴンと戦っていたが力及ばず敗北する。そのドラゴンが吐いた炎は滅竜種だけでなく、近くにあったブライス村も焼き払ってしまった。たまたま村の外に出ていた青年、クロビスが村に帰ると、村はすでに火の海と化し、唯一の肉親であった妹のエレーナはドラゴンによって焼き殺されてしまった。嘆き悲しむクロビスの目の前に一本の剣があった。この剣を手にした彼は、この事件がドラゴンの手によるものであること、そしてこの剣はドラゴンを殺すことができる魔剣であることを剣の力によって知る。ここからクロビスの復讐の旅と彼の一族の戦いが始まる。話の導入として村焼くの結構よくあることなんですかね。まあそうだね、ドラゴンは。危険みたいな。街中に花咲いてたらまずいやみたいな。これストーリー分岐あるんですかよ。 これ分岐っていうか、第一章で出てくるヒロイン2人いるけど、どっちかと結婚して、その息子さんが主人公の第2部みたいなストーリーの分岐があるっぽいですね。
Alrighty, we're just getting everything set up for Dragon Valor, but in the meantime, hello everyone, this is Red Silvers. I'm going to be hosting you through this run. While we're getting set up, we do have a couple of donations here to get through. We do have $10 for BD Jeffrey. He says, we need to get shampoo. I'm all out and getting more in bait and chaos seems convenient enough, right? We also have a $30 donation from Baffin. Says, go Legrand Grand for bait and Katos. Hyped to see you represent our game. Giving money to name the spirit as myself to accompany you for the run. Thank you very much, both of you, for those donations. And of course, as always, RPG Limit Break is coming to you from Salt Lake City Live, my hometown, where we're raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI was founded in
してもしなくても駆られる作品によっては駆られるんだよ、ドラゴン。すべての竜を狩り尽くせ。もしかしてこのカテゴリー分岐ルートがどっちかの分岐でやるのか。作品によって様々ですからね。人類の脅威だからもう討伐しましょう。滅ぼし倒して平和を取り戻しましょう。で、作品によってはドラゴンの神秘的な存在、なんか力的には不老不死、食ったら不老不死になるから取っちゃいましょうみたいな、素材として食っちゃいましょうって言って、まあ、作品によってはドラゴンがっていうかな、それを管理する人がブチギレちゃったみたいなのもありましたし、勝手に食うのはあかんよあかんよ。どうなんだろう、このドラゴンバラーにおけるドラゴンを食べたら不老不死になるのかな食う余裕ないか。まあ血浴びてもまあそうねモンハン居酒屋感覚なのありますよね。なんだろう、ドラゴンがなんかもう作品によってはなんか人魚と同じ立場みたいな。例えとしては微妙かな。どうなんだろう。モンハンのまあ終了できるからか。一応ドラゴンバラジャンルとしてはアクションに分類されるそうですよ。 1999年にプレイステーション用ソフトとして発売された作品ですね。
All right, we're just getting things ready to go now with Dragon Valor, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it to our runner, Hebinx. Go ahead and take it away.
Domain 来ましたね。
So much, Red, for the introduction. I'm here to
小
play
説
a
も
game today that
小
has
説は
maybe
もあるんだ。
a handful of people who
So-
recognize it, called Dragon Valor, that originally released and
あ、で
only
も
released
女子
on
一緒だ
the
っけか。
PS1. I believe it had a digital available download on the Japanese PSN network on the Vita, maybe. This is a sequel slash remake series of the Dragon Buster series that maybe two handfuls of people might know, but we're going to go ahead and get things started. So go ahead and count it down with me, folks. 3, 2, 1, go!
はい、始まりました。グッドラックでございます。
So, all the way back on the PS1, Namco had the good graces to give us skippable cutscenes right off the bat. I'm just sitting here mashing start.
Ah,
getting the
村
prologue out of the
焼け
way,
て
but,
る。
quick synopsis here. Our main character, Clovis, the dragon, comes in, kills the Valor and his entire village and his baby sister. Very tragic, very awful. And we're here to get revenge. That's the main plot of this
村
opening
焼けてる。
prologue here. But first, tutorials. Because, you know, you need to learn how to get revenge to get your revenge. So here I'm going to be skipping a bunch of prompts here that's going to be teaching me the basic movements and attacks of the game. But for you guys, I am going to be doing that for you. So as we go
なん
through
か
the
どっ
game,
か
I'm
の
going
急
to
変
hold
み
the
たいな服
L1
装の
button
この
basically
子
the
が
entire
主
time.
人
This
公
is how
ク
you
ロビ
run
ス
in the
クロ
game.
ビ
If
ス
I do not hold the L1 button or L2 button,
妹
I
殺され
don't run.
て復讐食べに
I
来ま
just
した
kind
み
of
たい
walk
な。
along. This
あ、
game
一応ルームガード
also
はこれ
supports
この
analog
トゲみたい
movement.
な
I
壁
won't be
か。
using that in key moments like right here. The game has fixed camera angles through a lot of this game, so I will have to strategically switch between D-pad and analog for
RPG というより
optimal
アクシ
movement
ョン
here.
アクションですね。
Unfortunately, some of the angles that the camera forces you into do not give you optimal movement left right when you hold the right
ま
button. Right here, the game's going to teach me how to crouch, but
えー
crouching slow. So instead, we're going to do a dash
しゃ
slash
がむアクションもある。
through there,
しゃ
or
が
a
むもそう。
dash stab. And then hammer blow right into this poor bat, up impale this other bat right here. Those are both moves the game doesn't really teach you how to do. So I'll go ahead and teach you. If you press the crouch button while you're jumping, you will do the
最初
hammer
これ
blow. If you double
うんと
jump, because yes, this game has double jumps,
こ
you
れ
will do
サイ
what's
ズの
called
森です。
an
ブライスの
impale
森です
attack.
ね。
So you'll stop all horizontal progression movement
特
and then
に
stab
難
the
所は
ground,
な
create
い
a
から
shockwave. It
練
looks
習
very cool.
練
We're
習
gonna
用
skip
に
this
最
one
適
because
なステ
I
ージ
don't
で
want to
ご
fight
ざい
anything
ま
I
すと。
don't have to fight. That's slow. And while we're
いや、だい
cruising
ぶアクショ
through
ン
here,
ゲーム
oh,
で
those
す
are
ね。
slow too. I'll go ahead and explain some of the way this game plays. So this is an RPG where most of your progression and your growth is tied behind items. So right here, after it loads in, I just got my first magic spell, Fire, and I'm going to go ahead and switch that in the menu now. By opening, you open it by pressing triangle. You can cancel out of casts and other
武蔵伝
animations
を
by
横スク
doing
ロー
that.
にした感じ。へ
And so in
え。
case I like go to do a secondary cast of a spell and an enemy's already dead, to save MP, I will cast cancel. We'll get into the nitty gritty of that later. Oh, baby, a triple! There we go. I love to see it. That's how we know we're on the run. So I know I've been talking over it for a long time. I love the soundtrack of this game. I fell in love with this after my cousin introduced it to me when I was in like middle school, staying at his place for the summer. And ever since, I've always wanted to get up here on stage and play this game. So hopefully I can introduce this to maybe like another 2 or 3 handfuls of people. Maybe I'll be interested in what's going on here. Got bad RNG here on the Cerberus. Normally it's supposed to sit still and take a triple slash
下
there,
突
but
きと普通に
sometimes
蹴
you can
り
get up and do an immediate lunge
切り
attack.
込み
Instead, you'll see that
今のルームガー
recoil
ド
that
だ
it
から通
does.
さなきゃいけない
That's
とこ。
slow, but not the end of the world. Like a second loss there.
言われてみれ
We're
ば早い
already at our
な。
first dragon. We're less than 5 minutes into the run. This is Rage, the dragon that slew our village and our baby sister. And we
で、
got
これが
rid
最
of
初のドラゴンか
it.
な。
And you would think that dragons are fine with
大
fire.
丈夫、
This
負け
one's
火じゃ
not.
ないよ
So
ね。
fireball, fireball, and a big old hammer blow. Oh, bad RNG here on the counter attack. So this game plays like a beat 'em up. You'll see that enemies do have RNG to their attack patterns. We're going to throw a fireball to the head there. Dodge some fire. We do have double jumping available to us.
ちょっと 3D っぽいアクショ
And
ン要
just
素あります
listen to
ね。
that
わ
soundtrack
あ
cranking. Namco spared no expense for the music in this game. Phase transition right here into a knockdown attack, and the dragon's down.
倒しました。
Revenge in less than 5
あ、
minutes.
これ
Let's
一般通過系
go.
一般通過のドラゴンくんなの？
So as we wait for the game to catch up to our blazing speed here, we're going to go through a prologue sequence where Clovis watches another baby dragon hatch out of rage. This is going to be Titan get away, and he swears revenge on that dragon as well. So while we are revenge pandering to our next chapter here, Red, do you have anything for the audience?
Yeah, actually, first of all, we do have a $50 donation from Izala with no comment, but thank you very much. Every dollar, of course, goes to Nami, and every bit helps. So thank you very much for that. And of course, I just want to remind people we have some prizes that are going until the end of this run. We have the Chocobo and the Moogle small cube plushies. We also have a
大将、
oh, I'm
ラ
sorry, we have
報
the
復者。
Chocobo large plush.
こ
We
こ
also
は、
have a
ラ
couple
ク
of
シス
Switch
国
games, the
国
Romancing
境地帯
Saga
ですね。
2 and Romancing Saga 3 for the Switch.
この銀月
All
を
those
が
are
る
open
お金
until
かな
the end of this run, so get your money in for those with your donations.
Awesome, thank you very much. So you saw right there in that opening sequence there, I was actually running at a very specific angle.
ベイビードラゴン。
You're only on D-pad, so like let's say you have a PlayStation when you're playing this game and it doesn't have analog support, you have to flicker between the up and right inputs to actually get up that street there. Here we're going to fight a couple warriors, and this is the introduction to our drop system and how we get upgrades from enemies. So defeating enemies, you have two methods to do so. You have physical attacks right here, and what I'm doing is the dash
最後に
slash.
出
We'll
てく
get
る
into
と
the
き、
nitty-gritty of
ウォ
that
リア
later.
は
And
3
then
匹
you
同時に出て
have
くるから、ちょっと
the method of defeating them, which is with magic.
油断せずに。
And as you
油断
defeat
せずに
enemies,
行こう
there's
って
a
わけ。
hidden counter in the background that determines
ど
the
うだろう、い
drops
つの
you
間
get.
に
So right there, I just
ど
picked
こで
up
立
a
って持っ
strength
た
up
んだよ。
gem. Accidentally missed my kill there, but that's okay. We'll get one later. There are two upgrades that drop from the kill methods. You have strength up gems for every X amount of physical kills you get, and then you
私も
have
知らん。
magic MP increasing scrolls for every amount of magic kills you get. So in this next area, I'm going to go ahead and try to force a magic kill so I can get one of those drops. MP management is very key in this game. There is no natural mana regen. Instead, you have to manage pickups here. And here's our introduction to the overworld. It's very much Super Mario World-esque. I'm going to choose a few locations. There's a couple branching paths, thankfully, in this route.
で
Mashing
このイ
X
ベント
will
後
lead
に、
to the optimal destination. And if you notice there,
ラクシ
the
ス王国
character
の
move on
お
the
姫
overworld,
様、
I have to press
セリア
start
さんに
every
出会い
time I
ます。
choose a destination to make Clovis move faster, or he'll just kind of take his time meandering to the next destination, and that's slow. So we kind of, you know, a sense of
次は
urgency is here. We're here to get revenge, and revenge is taken quickly. Right there, you saw me perform a block. That is, in true Namco style, executed with a neutral input. You have to hold
こ
no
れは
direction
国境
on
警備
the
部隊
stick or
砦か
D-pad.
な
We're going to
敵
do a couple backflips here for
ない
style to get
と
through this room. Because
ない
that
と
ninja
倒
loves
し
to
たから
dive kick at us, but you have iframes while you
あ
are
スルー
doing
できるとこは
backflips
す
there.
る。
A lot of fighting game terminology I'm going to use during this. So let's say the dash slash puts enemies in a crumpled state. If you're familiar with fighting games, I will use that terminology. I'll do my best to explain it as we go. But iframes are basically invincibility frames. You cannot be hurt while you're backflipping and blinking.
レーダーありがとうござい
You
ま
can
す。
also cancel out of the first backflip
現在、ジャ
into
パ
a
ニ
dive
ーズ
kick.
ストリー
That's
ム
not
では、
very good, though.
RPG
It's
リ
not
ミッ
great
ト
for
ブレイク
damage, and it
2024
pixel
の
your
予測
iframes.
放認で
So
日
you
本
won't
語
really
ミラー
see
配
me
信して
doing
お
that
りま
during
す。
the
ただ
run.
いま、ドラゴンバラ
Up here we have two
の
rhinos.
乱
They
が
have a
始まっ
ton of
たばか
physical
りです。
resistance, but if we just chuck some fireballs here,
解説有識者いらっしゃいましたら応募して
we
い
make
た
some
だ
short
け
work
る
of these
と
guys.
私が
We'll
め
be
っちゃ
done
嬉
with
しい
this
で
next
す。
level here. We're going to be cruising through here. We got Black Tome. This is mind
今
magic.
ちょ
I'm
っ
going
と
to go ahead and switch now
回
while we wait for the jingle to
攻略
finish.
サイトガン見しなが
And we're
ら
gonna finish a level
喋っ
from
て
now
ます
on.
が
You're going to hear that lovely little jingle. So when you hear that chime,
そうですね、この主人
that
公
means
くん
level
はもう復讐
moving on to Raxus City proper.
妹
They
殺す
really went hard
妹
on the
殺したドラゴン
soundtrack
絶
game.
対許さ
I
ないだから
love some
もう
great soundtracks here. Raxus, you're going to hear multiple times throughout the run. Is a key location
何も躊躇ないんで
lore-wise
しょうね。
to Dragon Valor. And those wisps, unfortunately, make that sound effect the whole time they're on the screen. They also follow you based on your inputs. So if I were to just stop right now, not holding the inputs, those wisps would no longer follow me. They only move towards the character as you hold a directional input. So even if I'm knocked down, or if I'm in a stuck animation, in let's say I'm in an impale state,
うわ
I have to hold an input to
建
get them
物
to
の
move
雰囲気
closer
見
to
る
me. We'll
見る
see
に
it
は
in
捕虜
motion
捕虜
here
こ
in
れ
this
収容所
hallway.
跡
So I'm going to run
っていう
into
の
this
か。
hallway and run past all the wisps because there's an orc at the end of this. Right here, I want to get both of these guys. Unfortunately, missed. Got me with an arrow, cheeky.
例えばドラゴンが国境の先にいて手続きをしろと言われたら
towards me.
多分それっぽいです。
Got got that
ちょ
magic
っと
pick
視
up
点が
there,
変わりましたね。
and we're going to go ahead and cruise on over
MP は
here.
回復でした。
And we're gonna fight a
回
lizard
復アイ
man
テ
with
ム
a
拾
bunch
った
of
な。
wisps again. So instead, I'm gonna run down right here, pick up this max
ル
HP
ーム
pickup.
ガーダーで
That
す
chalice
ね。
gives me 8 maximum
ウィ
HP.
ル・オブ・ビス
We're
プ
gonna blow him up once,
リザードマン。
blow him up twice, get our scroll that we didn't get earlier, and can I get this health pickup? Yes. Alrighty. So like I mentioned earlier, scrolls are based on the amount of enemies you kill with magic attacks. Now, for whatever reason, if I kill an enemy and they fly off screen and I miss picking up that scroll, no worries. The next enemy I defeat with magic will
で、
instead
この
drop
今
the
のツイ
scroll.
ンテールの子
In some
が、
instances, my kill count might get a
落
little
出
bit
場
off,
し、
and in
城下町
might
にいる
miss a
発明
pickup
家の
here or there.
卵。
Thankfully, the
発
game
明家
keeps
の
the
父
count in
親
the
と暮らし
background,
て
so
い
you
た
might
け
see me
ど、
pick up 2 scrolls at
騎
once.
士団の兵器開発
So the
に
first unskippable
の協力を
shopkeeper,
拒否し
unskippable shop.
て
I can skip cutscenes,
首
but
ちょ
I
んぱさ
can't
れたってこと
skip
で。
the shopkeeper. Keep notice of this man. He's a menace.
こ
He's
の子もヒロイン候補って感じですね。
he follows me throughout the entire game, even into the underworld. Yes, this man has real estate in the underworld, while the rest of us can't afford homes. But Red, while I see this man, every time I see this man, if you could just tell the lovely audience something about the charity, I would love that. So Red, you have anything for me?
As a matter of fact, I do. You might not like shops, but I'm actually happy to announce that RPG Limit Break has shops. They've recently announced their own.
だいぶ威圧すごかったですね、
They've
この
got
店
hoodies,
主。
they've got coffee mugs. I've already seen a bunch of people here at the event that have them, and they're great. They've got the logo, they've got desk mats.
城下町かな、ラクシスロー
Funding
ド2。
RPG Limit Break itself, so we can keep bringing you these events live. And that store is live at store.rpglimitbreak.com.
これ
Awesome.
敵な
Thank
の
you very
か、
much. Now you
なん
saw
かうね
me
うね
just
してたけど。
quote unquote arbitrarily jumping right there. Those enemies swing their tentacles based on your Z position.
いや、違います、違い
In
ま
the
す
air, you'll see them do that
途
upward
中、
thrust. If I'm
ちょ
on
っ
the
と一
ground,
瞬、
they'll
さ
do
っき
that
ちょ
swipe.
っと一瞬だけ映
Unfortunately,
った
they're
ツイン
on
テールの
an
女の子
awkward
がい
timer,
ま
so
し
it's
たけ
best
ど。
to just kind of jump and set intervals and try to get that. I did not get the triple here. This orc likes to run to his buddy after shooting you. Very rude, but instead we're going to get a couple hammer blows here and move on.
ダパル
Hammer
ト
blow
オ
again
ー
is
ク
executed by doing a single jump, pressing crouch in the air. If I want to do an impale, it stops all my horizontal movement. So if I want to keep on the move, hammer blows are key. If I have a big group of enemies I don't mind sitting still for, then the good old impale will bring it to town. These mines are proximity triggered. If I jump
こ
over
の
them,
赤
they
い
will
の
explode. And over here we have a couple of
地雷なのか。
armor knights that could easily
踏
try
ん
out
だ
for
ら、
an MBA and
踏んだ
probably
らダ
get
メー
it.
ジ
These
扱い
guys
みた
can
いな。
jump in insane heights in full armor.
これ
These
カウン
guys are decked to the nines and they
なん
can
かカウン
jump
ターっ
like
ぽいこと言っ
10
てる。
feet in the air. I'd hate to see how high they can jump
魔法かこれ。
without that armor on. But a couple of
強
mines
え
right
な
here will put the enemies down. Early game mine magic is very strong. Not only does it have high damage at low MP cost, but it also has nope, missed it. It's all right. It has a really weird effect where enemies of a certain body type will induce a juggle. They'll get knocked up by the first explosion, land on the after explosion, and you'll get double damage.
また
So
ラクシ
even
ス
though it's a
城
little
に戻
slow
り
on
ま
the
した。
startup, mine magic is kind of key to this opening run here. Over here we have our first introduction of a section where you do not have to defeat all the enemies.
あ、本当
So
だ。
I can run past this knight, I can run past this knight, see these archers
レ
blow
ベ
up
ルアッ
this.
プの表示が
This
ないま
knight
ま
in
いつの間
particular,
にかレベル
sometimes
上
I
がってま
walk
し
off
たみたいな
accidentally
感じ
held
か。
down, I put right there, pick up
う
this
ん、ま
key
あ、
and we
騎
say
士と
goodbye.
騎兵に囲まれ
Guys,
て
have
ま
fun
すね。
guarding the gate. I'm already in the castle. Right here we have our very first route decision. I'm
だいぶ
playing
ゴ
the
リ押しだ
Kadum
な。
route tonight, which is currently world record route. If I were to take her right down there and save the princess,
ん
Celia, I
監視カ
would
メラ
not only be staying true to the original game, I would be proceeding down the soul route. But unfortunately, soul route is a little slow. Right now, we don't have a lot of people who have workshop soul route, so for now it's slower. So instead, we're going to say, see you later, princess. We're just going to go ahead and fight our dragon. We're more interested in revenge. We're going to see if I can group up these two knights right here. Missed. Unfortunately, it's okay, but we're going to go ahead and get an impale. Nope. This archer's going to back up very cheaply. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple dash cancels right here. Now, the cool thing about this crumple state that I mentioned earlier, normally when you knock down enemies, they
要
go
所要所で
into,
増強アイテムを
they
回
get
収して
iframes,
い
they're
る。
in an invincible
そうで
state.
すね、回復アイテム
If
あ
you put an enemy in a crumple state with that dash slash, yes, the screen slows down, but they also lose iframes. They do not get iframes, so I can hack them while they're down on the ground, getting an OTG right there. Here we have the evil knight Volef, who has assisted the dragon in kidnapping the princess. He's kind of a chump, though, so we're just going to blow him up. So right now he starts off with iframes. We're going to put a mine right under his foot, hammer blow. Place another mine right here. He's going to try to attack me, but backflips are cool. They're so cool, in fact, they make me immune to damage. And we're going
あ、
to do
暴
it again.
力、黒騎士、う
Another
ん
backflip for style.
ドラゴンの力を駆使するアゼル騎士団を率いる黒騎士。ライムンとドラゴンを利用しているつもりが、本当は逆に手駒として利用されていることに気づいていない。要するにかませ犬ってことですか？セリア姫をポイントして新たな王とす。自分を武勇に優れ教養のある王にふさわしい騎士と思い込んでおり、セリア姫と婚姻して新たな王として即位することを目論んでいるが、その実態は道化じみた愚かな男である。哀れなり。だいぶえぐいトラップあったな今。
Right here we have a new player trap right here, not very friendly. So up the spiral staircase, there's going to be color indicators that match the ones on the floor here for each lever that lower spikes or raise spikes depending on the position.
黄色無視しましたね。トラップでしょうか。カービィでよくある1個やったらちょっと外れみたいな。
So as I hold this correct angle right here on the analog stick, I could go up smoothly through the staircase. If I were to hold right on the D-pad right here, this would force me into doing a weird wiggle, where if I hold right, it would actually make me fall off these steps. Yes, you can fall off these steps.
バク転回避だったんですね。
But we don't want to do that that slow. Right here, we're going to see if we could dash chain.
黄色残ってるからこれ倒しちゃったらあかんみたいになっちゃったのかな。
Every time in a crumple state to avoid iframes. Here we go. Perfect. Didn't even stand a chance.
なんかすごい音
If
し
I
て
were to
ん
see
だ。
any of those inputs, he would go into an invincibility iframe attack where he sprays poison gas very slow. Not killing is very slow. Right here we fight the alchemist.
今のところ錬金術研究所か。
Samurai. And he is very squirrely. Let's see how he behaves for me tonight for you, chat. One. Now, I can't do this one more time. Instead, I have to change up my attacks. The game is programmed to make it to where if I try to do the same input 3 times on an enemy, they get wise to my
この青
tactics.
い
So I have to
鎧
switch it
の
up.
人
I'll
は
always be doing different stuff. Here
ラ
it
イ
goes.
ム、ボーレフ
Just
と
like
手を
Robin
組んでい
likes
る
to
謎
do.
の錬金術
Throwing out his potions.
落子洞窟に突如して現れ
I'm gonna get hit by
瞬く間に王家のお抱えとなった後、ボーレフをさそどかして革命を引き起こした。自身の研究所の地下にドラゴンを住まわせており、実際にドラゴンの力を駆使して魔物を操っているのはライムンであるが、錬金術ばかりではなく剣にも長けている。その正体はドラゴンによって賢者の意志を与えられて、傀儡として蘇ったクロビスの妹の婚約者、アレッド。行商人として町に向かう途中の吊り橋で崖に叩き落とされて死んだ。自分を突き落としたとして村を滅ぼしたナクロビスが妹を奪われることで嫉妬したからだと記憶を改ざんされており、復讐を果たさんと襲いかかってきた。
So of course we do know that all of our donations are going to Nami, but there's also incentives that you can donate for future runs. One that we've got coming out for Bite and Kaya's 1HD is to get the infamous shampoo bottle. There's also several others for that same game, such as choosing
ちょ
the
っと
fourth
場所変
companion,
わって、
gaining the
アンデ
spirit,
ッドっぽいのがい
and
ます
fighting the
ね。
final
骨
boss
い
at
ますね。
200% speed, because we're not already going fast enough. We've got to double it
多
up.
分近ぼっちだと思います、これ。
Awesome, thank you very much. So you notice right there, those scaly boys wake up, and a lot of them just immediately choose violence. They reconstitute and just start swinging. So I have to make sure I pre-jump to get over them. One of the things I haven't talked about with jumps here is jumping is entirely momentum based, and what you can accidentally do sometimes if you're starting from a stand.
この障害物えぐくない？
So if you try to jump within the first 2 frames of starting a run, you'll actually jump at walk
俺
speed.
が追っかけています。
So you'll get a neutered jump there, and it will really impact your platforming.
降り
So trying
た
to make sure
先
you
に
jump at the correct frame,
まだなん
start
か
up there is key. We're going to push this block onto this button right here
あ、これ
and go into our
これを
next
押して
fight.
スイッチ
Olaf
を
has been revived by the dragon, giving a cooler
っていう
set
か
of
トラッ
armor
プ解除し
and
て
a
る感
mask
じか。
to cover up that Shanaz.
明るい登場
Unfortunately,
人
they had
物
to
あり
bolt on a
いま
couple
せん
extra
か？
accessories
私は知りません。
to get it fully covered. But you know, good old mind magic, it really does us well here. Now, I do have to stick to a very strict attack pattern here. I have to wait for him to land on the ground.
ボーレフさんが
Here.
さっき
Nope,
の
didn't get me.
さっきの構えているのがまた登場してリベンジしに来ました。
He just walks towards me menacingly. Yep, here we go. Giving me a bad pattern here. We're going to go ahead and double back. Yes, he could cancel out into that spin attack right there on any of my slashes. So I have to keep my iframes to combat his iframes.
そろそろ倒せそうですね。
And down the big guy goes. And he's going to give us our first instance of stealth magic. This is going to be very important later, but for right now, we got dragons to slay. So Volef is going to run away from us and go and tell Titan, please, I need
で
more
ボー
help.
レ
And
フ回
Titan's
を
gonna
倒すと
do
ドラゴン
enough
対決に
fire
なり
breath.
ます。
And down goes Volef off screen right here. And we're going to skip all these cutscenes. Hopefully the synopsis is working well for you, chat. So this is our second dragon fight of the game, and I don't know if I've explained it yet. Oh, bad start right here. It's okay. But every dragon has a weak spot. They will have a spot that not only gives them a unique recoil animation, but does extra damage. Titans is his tail. And a lot of times
ちょうど戦っているところですが、ここで私、視界の交代の時間となりました。以上で、ここまで天気でお送りしました。失礼いたします。
See if I can recover. Unfortunately, I couldn't. We'll see if the game plays nice with me right here, but if he undergoes his transformation, he'll get iframes, go into a stance that's a little more deadly. I will need to focus up. No, we got the skip. Awesome. He animation glitched. Let's go. And with that, our revenge has truly been achieved with Clovis. He finds peace after slaying the dragon. Now, since we did not save the queen or save the princess, we did not marry the princess and become king of Raxus. Instead, we marry Carolina and we have a son named Codell. So this game spans generations. After some time here, Clovis is driven mad by the absence of the magic sword that he's using and the presence of a dragon. So he abandons his wife and son and goes on the recluse. Meanwhile, Codell, being self-taught, becomes a pirate hunter to help support him and his mother with the family magic sword. This introduces an interesting element to the game, which is with every generation that we proceed through the game, each of our protagonists will develop their own unique fighting style changes. So right here, you'll notice that the third attack that Codell did right there, that swing, is actually an overhead swing as opposed to a horizontal slash that his father used. And throughout the generations, that martial art change will persist. So every protagonist we play on from now on, that third slash will be a wide overhead swing. It has very good hit frame data. And it is generally just good to use. Meanwhile, we're going to make chumps of these pirates here. This last pirate right here, we don't have to fight. We only actually had to take down the big guy. So the other guy is just going to stand around. Which way to go? Which way to go? And we're going to ignore him. Right here, I'm going to break this box for safety. There's a talisman in here. This is one of the few items that persist through generations. So those scrolls and those chalices I got last time do not pass down through the family line to Codell here. He now has his own natural MP and HP, and I'll have to re-earn chalices.
こう出たら何かしら反応いただけると助かります。
However, that talisman right there and a few other items in the game will persist throughout the generations. So every successor from Codell here onward will have increased defense by 1.
はい、ということで、ただいまの時間からはヘマウチアがお届けします。と言っても自分もこのゲームよくわからないので、有識者様の方がいたら、ぜひ解説に来ていただけるとめちゃめちゃ助かります。はい、聞こえてます。ありがとうございます。
Right here, we're going to go ahead and run past here, and you hear that thing winding up off the side. There comes the spikes. We're going to grab the swag T right here. This T is never used. You could use it at the shops, but shops are slow, so we're just going to grab the T for swag. Right here, we're going to have 4 enemies right here, and we're going to try to group them up for these traps. Traps can be used to hurt enemies. So I'm going to try to trigger these arrows to damage the enemies, because not only can they fire and hurt multiple times through iframes, it's just kind of easier than popping around. Unfortunately, some enemy attacks are very quick. Got a couple attacks off right there. This ninja's coming in at me. He's coming in at me hard. There we go. Dodge the arrow. Can I get a second? Thank you very much, Mr. Trap.
世代交代っていうのがあるんですね、このゲーム。はいはい。
And we get a violet tome there. That's for vortex magic. We never use vortex magic in this run. Basically creates a small black hole and sucks enemies into it. The more we level up the magic, the stronger and larger the black hole gets, eventually sucking in enemies from all aspects of the screen. But I think we only get level 1 vortex magic to the
今が第1
if I'm
章
remembering correctly. So, here in the Kadeli Canal, we get our spoils and we jump off the ship. And now we're washing up on the shore. on to fight some more knights. So while I beat up some more knights and pirates, Red, if you have anything for the chat, feel free.
First of all, I just want to say that Chad is loving your commentary today.
Oh, thank you very much.
And of course, once again, RPG Limit Break is proud to partner with the Yeti, who have designed 3 exclusive shirts, and we also have a pin for this year's event. Like to see those awesome designs, please visit theyeti.com/rpglb.
はい。
Yeti is
あ、これ
YE.
PS1 のゲーム。
Remember, these items are only available during the marathon, so make sure
で、
you get those before it's too late.
1999年。
Awesome, thank you very much. So right there, you
昔
saw
の
me
ゲー
actually
ム。
do a one-frame jump after jumping on those boxes. It's a hazard of that section here. Speaking of hazards, these starfish are a menace. This entire game, I'm going to have problems with starfish. I'm just going to let you know right now, chat. They have incredibly small hitboxes. They lunge at you randomly. They have active frames on their lunges that are gigantic. Like, the lunge on them, even though they come off like maybe a foot off the ground, is like 6 feet tall. So I have to be very cautious of starfish of all things. Right here, we have a group of pirates. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can dash slash. Nope. I got clipped by one of them. It's okay, though. I'm getting beat up. It's okay. We will get some health later. I'm going to go ahead and pop a safety heal right here. Nope. Don't have enough MP for it. So I'm going to go
見
ahead
た
and go
感
with
じ、
backup strat.
強制戦闘エリアをいっぱい抜けてって、その先にあるなんかを
Yeah,
目
you
指す
do
みたいな、
cost a
そういう感じなんですかね。
lot of MP in this run. So it starts at 10, works all the way up to like 14 MP. Gonna grab a healing file right here and pop a heal just for safety.
あ、今ヒール、あ、回復魔法
Over
使い
there
ました。
to mind magic. The menu does wrap.
マインっていう魔法
My
を
brain just thinks that down
使っ
is a
てい
faster
くの
input
か
than
な
up a
多
lot of
分。
times, so you'll see me take the slow way. Apologies for that. Another pirate right here. These pirate thugs are weird specifically because they have active iframes for longer than they blink a lot of the times. One of their attacks gives them iframes.
中でも普通に戦うんです。
Mr. Pirate, please. Anyways, the knives are unnecessary. Working our way through the canal here. You know, littered through the streets, you'll find crates, you'll find items, but, you know, mines are also part of the municipalities that we place in our cities, right? You know, the city was built by Michael Bay, and we have to respect that. Moving on to this room here, 3 starfish. None of them did the immediate lunge at me, and giant crab hit the weak spot for massive damage, and the weak spot being explosions. Grab some backup MP and HP right here. Grab the orange tome. This is thunder magic. It is actually lightning, but a lot of JRPGs love to call lightning magic thunder. This one is no exception to the rule.
ああ、なるほど。マインは多段ヒットするんですね。
And we're through the
いや、
canal
強い。
onto the city proper. We'll see an opening cutscene right here where Fauna is attacked
で、
by a knight, and her soul is stolen and taken away. We'll get more into the implications of that later, but first, another
多分
NBA
今出た
All-Star
のが
over
フ
here.
ァーナー・
Knight
フラン
coming
ク
in
ウッ
at me
ド
hard.
っ
Let's
て
see if
人
he
ら
drops
し
the
いで
scroll.
す。
No scroll.
多
Let's
分
move on.
おそらくき
Again,
っ
those
と。
guys got ups. Mad props to them. Put a basketball in any of their hands, and they are an all-star. More. We have an alleyway full of evil starfish, chat. I can't get enough of these guys. They really love me and my seafaring antics over here. We're gonna blow these 2 up while I grab the strength up gem. Perfect. Move on to a room of pirates that don't actually have to fight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say see you later. Let's go. Grab some backup magic right here, or HP, my bad. And the game's gonna try to force me into a spike trap and say, no way. Jump over it. This game is very, the game moves as well as it looks, chat. The controls are very tight. All my inputs are very accurate, and unfortunately that means I have no room for excuse when I flub an input. That means I goofed.
なぜかわかんないんですけど、調べても、第一章のストーリー
Every time you have enemies in far away positions, typically it's best strategy to try to group them up.
これ分岐。あ、なるほど。
attacks.
あ、そういうことか。
Second yellow tome. The game really wants me to
だからいっぱいあるんですね。
all
なる
about
ほ
the
ど。
offense, guys. Let me tell you, I chose violence. And again, we have another NBA player from downtown. I say no way, Jose, though, and we're going to go keep moving on. No good drops right here. Break these crates, grab this health pickup right here.
やっぱり調べてもちょっと第一章までのストーリーしかないです。
We saw for like 2 milliseconds in that prior cutscene, and he is angry at us So this knight's going to steal Fauna's soul. Robear's going to get mad at us. He thinks that we're the one who instigated the soul stealing here, and he's going to choose to fight us. Instead, we're going to blow him up in retaliation because, you know, self-defense. And he's going to start trying to blow us up. He's the only other enemy in the game who's decided, you know what, explosions. Besides Raimund here, going to laugh at us every time, watching us run around for his amusement, but we're going to say, that's not cool, dude. Please don't do that. Immediately chose up and decided to do an attack pattern. That's normally not what he does.
ボスっぽいですね。
We're going to go ahead and do a backup strat right here. Give me the
ハー
business
ト
here.
書いてある。
Normally, he does that little dash and swing on his second explosion. So for him to not do that, not only is it slow, it kind of throws off my rhythm here, but it's okay. We got backup strats. We practice, right? Ah, big attack. He's got moves, man. But not good enough. And down he goes.
ほうほう
So we
ですね、やっ
learned
ぱり
from
生きてる
Robert
やつ
after
を
we
見てる
beat
んで
some
すけ
sense
ど、
into him that the signal from our father to him to stop
わ
him
か
in
ん
his
ないで
moment
す
of
ね。
madness was to steal his daughter's soul. Unfortunately, we tell Robert, dude, I just beat you up, so what chance do you stand against my father who beat a dragon? So instead, we opt to go save Fauna in his stead, heading headlong into the abandoned mine. In here, I'm a little low on HP, so I'm going to be trying to play it safe. Meanwhile, while I'm playing it safe, Red, do you have anything for chat?
Well, chat's not too happy that all those starfish had to go, but
うん。
that's what they get.
Look, it was self-defense. I have, that's the only thing I have to say.
基本的には無視しても良さそうですね。
So while we're moving through the mines here, I will go ahead and explain a couple other movement points of the game, and generally how we like to try to manipulate enemy HP for certain behaviors. In this next room up here, there are going to be a group of zombies that come up only when I get into proximity of them. Now, zombies, when they get to near about 40% HP, what they'll do is they'll go into an animation where they get into a crumple state and they start to fall in half. And during this entire slow animation, they have iframes. I can't hurt them during it. And they'll fall in half, they'll become like a half corpse on the ground, they'll lunge at you. It's not very fun. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do 2 impales, or an impale and a hammer blow, and then a dash attack into a crumple, and then, oh, didn't clip, but it's okay, we got a backup.
ドラゴンバスターってもしかしてあのドラゴンバスターですか？
We're gonna try to get both of them grouped up right here. Unfortunately,
あれのアレンジ作品的な感じなんですね。へえ。
And down this one goes. And there's the crumple. Very slow, very unfortunate, but down that zombie goes. All dropping mushrooms. You'll notice these mushrooms throughout this entire run, and you'll notice I'll be definitely trying to avoid them. That's because they hurt you. Every time you pick up a mushroom, not only does it take away some of your HP, it restores a tiny bit of mana, but also puts you in a really slow, lumbering state for a little while. So going slow is slow, chat. It's news to me, I know. So we're going to try to avoid that this entire
今、
time.
いいの出てきたかも。
Hallway full of zombies here.
多分今、採掘場跡って場所にいます。
Try
おそ
to
らく。
literally push these zombies together with a combination of dash slashes and crumple states to try to just get everybody down. Now, if I crumple the zombies, they can't fall apart on me. So that's what I'm trying to force right here and get them to all perish before falling apart. Perfect. And now we have another group of 3 zombies right here.
方法が書いてるだけで。
Gonna get all 3 of them again. This is
多
very
分第1章の時点で、
Usually it's a little more
地頭残党っていうストーリーと強戦士っていうストーリーで分岐して多分、こっち強戦士を選んでるっぽいですね、多分。
top section up here
さっ
by
きバー
just
サーカーって
running
見
up,
えたんで。
jumping to the right, getting our momentum, and we skip that entire navigation in the upper area. Normally you have to go left and then down and then right, and that's slow. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and jump across. And you'll see that a lot. Platforming is key to getting around this game quickly. Up here, we're going to push a button and pop on down through this gate. We were actually in this room before, but we couldn't open this door. We had to go through a set of doors to press a button to open doors. That's going to be a recurring thing. Say hello to Rock-chan, chat. I call this Rock Demon Rock-chan because he's the kindest monster you'll see in this game. He'll never hurt me. Never, ever.
ですね、
He'll
やっぱ
flip
り。
over me. He'll do all sorts of cute antics, but you'll never see him actually do damage to me. So we give him what he wants. He wants blow-uppies, and I can't say no to blow-uppies. So Right here, we're going to use slopes to our advantage right here. That does preserve our increased momentum
あ、これか。
and try to jump as soon as we
多
land
分
on
主人
the downward slope
が
to
妹の
preserve
敵
our
を打ち
forward
生きる
momentum by
目
not being
的を
slowed
失っ
down.
たクロビス
Two
は王
lizard
国
men
解
right
放
here. They
人
have
の
incredibly long
回
range
路
with the
をなく
spears.
し
Not
つ
the attack
を
I
出
want to
発
see, but
す
it
る
can happen.
やつか
Thankfully,
な、
I
多
have
分。
backup HP literally right there off screen. The second
で、今、
right there.
ステージ4の採掘場後に行ってって感
But
じっ
we're going
ぽ
to
いです
give。him the business instead.
で、主人公の名前はなんかコーデル君らしいですね。
And down he goes. No magic drop, so our second rock demon fight over here might be a little hairy.
ストーリーとかも分かればいいんですけど、ちょっ
Meanwhile,
と
I'm
ス
going to
トー
put
リー
these
の方が。
giant blocks in a very specific way. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to pull this other larger pillar. 1, 2, 3.
絶対
You
この
would
足は
think
こ
a
んな
larger
簡単に
pillar would take a
動
little
かせ
bit
ない気
more
がするんだ
effort,
けど
but
な。
no, they all take
見
about
た
the
目以
same.
上に
And
これいい
I
の
am
か
going
な。
to eat a mushroom right here. It is faster than trying to dodge both of them. That's going to give us just enough MP to take down our second rock Chan over
あ、
here.
これ多分キノコ触っちゃいけない系っぽいですね。今、ポイズンって出たんで、
Say
多
hi to
分
rock Chan. Give him blow uppies.
あのキノコダメですね。
A 1, a 2, a 3. And on to the next section we go. So this is the first time you see an overworld movement where
で、
not pressing start would
多
be
分今
very,
採
very,
掘場
very
とか終わ
slow.
って、
So it's always
リ
key
ン
when I
トン、
press start
リン
as
トン
soon
フォレ
as
ス
I
トだ
start
からリン
the
トン
game
の
right
森って
here.
場所に行ってます。
Linton Forest is kind of a gauntlet. It gives me Mortal Kombat acid pit vibes, but that's just the fighting game enthusiast in me. And right here, more wisps with an orc that does love to run away. Thankfully, while holding down the inputs, I could get the willow wisps to follow me. And through the door we go. And that organ is just going to town. Hello, Mr. Arrow. Goodbye, Mr. Arrow. And now we have a room full of zombies that I will trigger one at a time while the wisps chase me down. But again, we stick to our strict attack patterns and we get our takedowns on these zombies. A lot of the times the zombies will drop mushrooms, so I'll
出
try to
現
get away
敵
from
が
them
ウィ
as
ル・
soon
オー・
as
ザ・
I
ウィスプ、
can.
ってや
But
つ
every now
と
and again I'll get a strength drop, and in that case,
キャピタル
you'll see me
ORC ってやつ
because every
と
time I can do more
ゾン
damage
ビと
is great.
普通の
However, that
ORC
does change
と
the way I approach these zombies in
リ
my
ザード
game.
マン
Like, since my
と
strength increased, I
マン
now
ティ
have
ス
to
と
adapt my attack pattern accordingly because
テン
I'm
タ
now
ク
doing more
ル
damage.
テン
And
タ
if I
ク
don't
ル
want
パレ
to,
ントっ
I'll force that invincible crumple state on them before I want.
ていうのが出てくるっぽいですね。右下に見てると
Barricading,
合
grab
成
our
戦闘。
chalice.
なる
That's
ほど
our。first health upgrade for Codell here. And the game slowly peppers these out in very obvious locations through the run. The devs obviously wanted you to get up to a certain HP threshold as we're going through. Normally I would use mind magic right here, but unfortunately my magic routing has not been
これが
very
リザード
nice
マンっ
to
ぽい
me.
です。
So instead we're going to just do a couple impales over and over and over again. Those lizardmen actually have the chance to not only just drop a mushroom, but they can drop what's called a magic power bottle, which gives me infinite MP. However, they were not so kind today, so I'm going to break these crates to get a backup magic drop right here, 30 MP. That's going to put me back on track for magic routing. No worries at all. And right here, we're going to see our first encounter with a very menacing enemy, the Mantis. Thing loves to fly in from off screen. It has hitbox
これが多分テンタク
iframe
ルス、
for
テンタクルス
days.
プラントか。
Very wonky hitbox, but thankfully this one goes down pretty smooth. We fight a Mantis later. Kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. He has incredibly high HP, but we won't see
クリア
him
っぽい
until
ですね。
the next generation. So on to Clovis's
で、この
Fortress.
次、
This is the only route in the game where you
クロ
actually
クロ
fight
ビスのと砦っていうステージに行くっぽいんですけど、違った。合ってる合ってる。行くっぽいんですけど、そこボス戦があるっぽいです。ちょっと進むと、クロビスある敵と戦うことになるらしいです。
You'll see him do iframe backflips. You'll see him cast fireballs.
金も
You'll
今
see
後
him
使う
do
のかな
desperation attack you'll never see me do because that makes me slow. A very interesting fight casually. And hopefully if I route it correctly, a very smooth fight speedily. All right, over here we got another NBA player. Here he comes to save the day.
これはクロビスじゃ
We're
ないっ
gonna
ぽ
try
い
to
です。
lure these knights all together.
出てくる敵がナイト、インペリアルガード、
I'm here. I'm doing my job. So I respect that and
レ
I'll come to you.
レ
Fair is fair.
読めないさんと、ロイヤルアーチャーと、リザードマンと、
And something to talk about while we're running up here.
デ
All enemies in the
ーモン
game do have
アー
some
マー。
sort of elemental weakness. There is about 8 spells in
なん
the
で、
game,
夜の敵が多い感
varying
じです。
varying elements. The knights are
あ、
actually
お
weak
あ、
to the lightning
ありがとうござい
spell,
ま
a
す。有
true
識者
magic.
様。
However,
失踪
mind
したと
magic
思われ
is the
た
level
父クロビス
above
を追っ
there.
かける。
So
なる
it's
ほど。
more optimal to use right now. You'll see me use Thunder 1 a little bit here on other enemies while I try to get through these centaurs here. I mean, rhinoids. Do a backflip and see if I get past them. Oh, there we go. And there we go. Some rooms you don't even have to fight at all. You have to do a puzzle element or puzzle, hit a couple switches. Right here is a very important moment, Chad. I need you to help me open this door. If I don't
そ
open
も
this
そ
door, I
も、
don't get
こ
on
の
the right route. Behind this door is
コ
a
ーデル
soul.
君、
Don't
主
ask
人
me
公
how a
君
door is
は、
stuck behind a
クロビス
soul.
とクロ
I
ミア
guess
さ
it's
ん
because
の
they
息
don't have
子っぽ
hands.
くって、その10歳の時に
Now
ク
we
ロビス
free
が
Fauna
失
Sword
踪し
to
た
go
か
back.
ら、多分それを追っ
If
か
we
け
do
るって
not
感
free
じなの
Fauna
かな多分。
Soul, she does not get out of the castle until later. And when we finish up Codel's chapter here, she does not like that very much. She's very upset with
で、
you that
リ
you
ザー
did
ド
not
マ
save
ン
her soul, and
と、
then she
これ浮い
refuses to
てる
marry
のは
you.
何でしょ
However, now that we have saved her soul from our evil father,
う浮いてるのが
she's now
デーモ
staying
ン
with
アー
us,
マー
and we will proceed
か
on
な
to the fastest storyline we have. I'm gonna go ahead and switch the mind magic right here. I'm gonna pick up this blue magic that drops from that lizard, and I'm gonna grab some backup magic potion right here. Pick up an HP pot as well, and we are on to fight our father.
あ、これ今新しい魔法。あ、多分これボス戦っ
Very
ぽい
silent
ですね。
walk into the room here. The tensions are high. Father versus son, never been done before in stories, I tell you. And let's see how Clovis starts off. Sometimes he likes to start off by throwing magic at me.
これがクロビスさ
Not
んっ
today, he's gonna
ぽい
swing
です
at。me. So the
ね、
idea
この
here
ク
is
ロ
to
ビス
try
あ
to
る
do
程
mind
度
magic
距離を
into
取る
hammer
と魔法を
wounds
使
like
っ
I
てい
did
く
in
らし
Soul
いん
here.
で、
The idea being that not
あ
only
る程度的には、あれこれはめ殺してません。
not only does it push him away, but it does a ton of damage. I want to
これ
push
は
him
めて
away
ますね。
because that attack
多分。
right there does a ton of damage, and it puts me
こ
in
れ
a
はめてま
recovery
すね、絶
state.
対。
However, Clovis is very kind to me. Thank you, Dad. And he went down fairly easily today. Giving Dad a good beating knocks the sense back into him, mostly because of the magic sword. And he now comes to his senses and tells us that he's been driven mad not only by being parted from the magic
で
sword for so
次が
long,
リン
but
ト
there's
ン
a
コー
dragon
チっ
in
て
the
いうと
volcano.
ころに行くっぽいですね
And。now it's up to us as the successor to the Dragon Valor bloodline to slay said dragon. Now we go through Linton Highlands here. This is our first exposure to vertical movement. Normally the game wants you to go down there into that pit and hop over those blocks. That's really slow. So we're just going to do some optimal double jumping, as the Barclay family loves to do. Double jumping runs in their veins. And we're going to just double jump our way through a lot of slow movement. I'm going to try to get these attacks off as I come down landing here. These these mushroom spores love to shoot out that attack. When I get hit by it, it puts me in a slow walk state. So instead, we preemptively swing on the downward to make sure that we hit them to stop that from happening. Over here, we're going to fight another assassin mantis coming in from downtown. Really out for me today. Like I said, these guys are mean.
で、ここの
But
敵
instead, we're
は、
going to choose to beat them back. And he dropped HP. Normally, I would pop a heal
ま
spell
た
here,
テンタ
but
クルスプラント
I'm
と
going
ORC
to
さん
report
と、
back.
チ
Now, Chad, I'm
ア
gonna tell you a little secret here. A little secret about life that
ベ
Dragon Valor has taught me.
ベルズみたいな
And
敵
that
と、
is that
ト
if
ー
it
ド
can't
ス
see
トー
you,
ル
it
とマン
can't
ティスっ
hurt you. So,
ぽい
for
ですね。
instance, we have this giant pool of acid right here.
お、あ、
Well, if
多
I'm
く、ありがとうご
invisible,
ざ
I
い
can
ま
just
す。
walk on it, right? It can't see me, so it can't hurt me. There you go. Problem solved. I kid. But yes, stealth magic makes you impervious to a lot of things, enemy attacks included, and a lot of our obstacles and traps that we see can just be averted by
要
just
求して
casting
く
a
るステージですね、ここ
stealth
は。
spell. The downside to stealth is that you lose the shadow underneath your character there that helps you with
あとは
aerial
終わりまし
positioning.
たね。
So while you have stealth magic active,
と、
platforming is
次
very
が、
difficult. I have to be
強、
very
こ
tight with my
れバー
timing
サ
of
ーカー、
movement
まあ、
to
元に
know
強
where
戦
I
士、
am
ストーリーのラス
positioned to
ト、
land on platforms and
ラ
other
スト
things
ダンジョン
as
っ
we
ぽいです
go.
ね。
And we're
なんかどう
actually
やらなぜ
right
か知ら
into
ない
the
けど、
hard section of
火
the
山の
game.
下に
Under
行っ
volcano,
て、
we use
ドラ
stealth
ゴンと
magic
戦う
to
ようです。
walk on lava here. Yes, you heard me right.
道
We're going to
中
be
は、
walking on lava here
バ
by
ッ
just turning
ト、
invisible.
なんか
That's
コ
how
ウ
that
モリ
works, right?
がいて、
But right here, this flaming platform, the game wants me to use ice magic to cool it off, but that's slow. So instead, we're just going to do a nice little double jump right there.
でです。あ、
Got
これが
an
新しい
impulse
魔
ray
法って
that
やつ
one's
か。
usually
お
pretty
ー、すご
tricky.
い。
And the whole time, you're going to see me here burning through MP to keep my stealth magic up at key moments. Don't worry,
あ、こ
the
のステルス
volcano
は
is
一
very
回使っ
generous
ちゃえ
with
ば、
MP
NP 消費
restoration.
なしでずっとその
So
状態でいけ
you
るんです。
won't have to worry
強
about
い。
me running out of MP here. As a matter of
あ、でもやっ
fact,
ぱ時
right
間
here,
気になる
since we haven't
と、
seen one Yeah, this is our introduction to magic
ダ
powder
メみたいな。
power. So now, while my
あ、なるほど。
MP gauge is flickering
そういう
like
感じ
this,
か。
I have unlimited magic. I could just keep casting it over and over. If I get an MP, if I get a
あ、ちょっ
scroll
とドラ
that
ゴンの
has
仕
no
業に
magic,
違いありません。
it
って
will
やるんですね。
immediately push up to max MP. Unfortunate right there. My timing was a little off on that jump, so I wasn't able to refresh. Got a mushroom right there, but it's okay. We're just going to go ahead and have
合
some
っ
backup.
てるん
We
で
have
し
a
ょうか。
backup potion we have available to us, but
あ、
a
周
couple
期か。
more jumps and we are through it. Gonna go ahead and there's an MP restore right here, so and an HP restore. Just gonna go ahead and grab that and switch over to ice magic. That's fire. Wrong input. There we go. And we're off to fight the
アイスに変えて、
twin-headed dragons, Hellfire and Inferno. This dragon has
多分
unique
最
gimmick
初
where it has no real weak
が
spot.
ドラ
Instead,
ゴ
it
ン
has a spell
インフェ
weakness
ルノ
that you
か
have
ドラゴン
to
ヘル、
use
あー、な
to
るほ
get
ど。どっ
rid of
ちもいい
its
のか。
invincibility.
どっちかがドラゴンインフェルノで、
Twin-headed
どっ
dragons
ちかが
are
ドラゴ
shrouded
ン
in
ヘル
flame,
ファイヤーです。
and you cannot damage them until you cast ice magic on them. Now you might be thinking, well, Heb, if you need to use ice magic, isn't that kind of bad if you run out of magic during this fight? And yes, however, with scroll routing,
ドラゴン、
one that
ドラゴンじゃない
alleviates
です。
that
アイ
from
スを
speed, but
使
on
う
a
と、
casual run,
もう体の炎を
dragons will do a breath
消すこ
attack
とが
that
でき
leaves a
て、
trail
その
of
タイ
fire.
ミング
The
に
trail of fire
攻撃を
disappears when
加え
you
る
drop
って感じ
magic
っぽいで
restore
すね。
potions. But hopefully we won't need those MP potions. We're just going to go ahead and keep double hitting these double dragons
見られてません？
and keep going on with the head swing. Very easy pattern here. Unfortunately, I might mess it up a little bit here. While it is a repeat pattern,
この
the
ゲーム、
frames
予
are a
選大体
little
はめちゃってる。
wonky. I do not want to hit these dragons
あ、で
individually.
も通り魔法
Sometimes
ないと
what
し
can
んどそうです
happen
ね、
is
これ
you
は。
won't click both of their hitboxes at the same time. You'll hit one and the other, and you'll get them in a staggered pattern. When that happens,
あれだけだからちゃんと
unfortunately,
別の行動
you'll
してくれ
get
た。
them thrown off pattern, but it looks like we got a perfect pattern here today. Let's go. Dragon Revenge number 3 done. They're going to do a nice little fire spit
倒
down,
したっぽいですね、ドラゴンヘルファイヤー。
down. We're going to pick up our Spoils of War here, which is an upgrade to our stealth magic, and we are done with Chapter 2 already. Red, do you have anything for us?
I do, in fact. We actually have a $50 donation from Lori Laddie. Says, hey, Heb, it's amazing that you got to show off your first speed game off at a marathon. Nugget and I are cheering you on. Shoutouts to RPGLB and raising money for a great cause.
That is my beautiful wife at home with our son. Love you very much. Thank you for supporting me through all of this. So, as we go through these unskippable cutscenes or skippable cutscenes here, we learned that Codell did marry Fauna and had a son named Philip. They then opened a mercantile business, and they are seafaring merchants. So in Chapter 3 here, we are going to be playing Philip as he is attacked on his merchant ship on the way to an island. He's going to be attacked by demons, but he is armed because, you know, as you go on boat voyages, you take your dad's magic sword.
ということで、ストーリーが変わりました。
We're gonna see if I can do a cool clip right here. Yeah, that's what I like to see. The double
多分ま
mine
た主人公も変わったでしょう。
access is very interesting in this
え
game.
第3
It's
章
to our
は、
advantage a lot of the times. There's a pendant up
待
here
っ
in
て
the
くださ
top
い
right
ね。
corner. It'll give me +1 max HP. I don't think I'm going to get it before I stop. No.
第3
Scrolls
章
will
は、
form there. So
また
during
これも
this
分岐していって、
Vapula,
お
a
そら
large
く、
rotund demon will attack the ship, knock Philip off, and we will be
フ
washed
ィリップ、
ashore
フィリッ
here
プだから、
to Pele
ちょ
Beach.
っと
And
待って
we'll
くださ
actually
い
run
ね。
into the Princess of Jairat. She'll wake us up on the beach,
そう
tell us that there's another magic sword here, and we learn the existence of other magic swords. And we're like, that sounds interesting, but let's just go ahead and get off this beach
多
first.
分、
So
恐
as
竜
you do
人
when
の
you
方
survive swimming for your life and washing up ashore, let's go for a run along the
か
beach,
な
chat. Let's do it. It's very
多分。
scenic here. It's very beautiful. And oh my
お
goodness,
そら
there's
く日
swordfish
本語名
and
恐竜人。
arrows. And what is happening at this beach?
あ、恐竜の恐は大凶の
Couldn't
恐
be
で、
anything else over here. There's
竜人は
explosives on this beach. What is this?
竜の
Directed
神
by
で
Michael
竜人
Bay?
ですね。
There we go. Get a little bit of revenge on these starfish over here.
合ってるかな
And cool guys don't look back at explosions. Philip's very cool. I'm going to skip this box right here. There's no important pickups as we go in here. And as we go into this room, we're introduced to another enemy type called wasps. I'm going to try to take out the wasps first. They have very low HP but very high movement speed. So I want to try to take it out before it takes off. Otherwise, the
あ、多分魔人、
will
あ、魔人サイズ
go
の
at me.
方。
There's a variant later called wasps.
どっちだ
And
ワ
here
ンチャ
we
ン
get
恐
our
竜人じゃ
first
ないかもしれない
major
ですね。
platforming skip. The other one was pretty obvious to get if
第
you're a casual
3
player. This
章
one's a little tricky. So with precise double jump timing, we could go bop, bop. I missed it a little bit. We'll go ahead and do this again because it's still faster. One more time. There we go. If we do not do that double jump, you have to go all the way over to the left there, crouch under another platform, jump over a couple more steps. It's slower. Even doing that 3 times is faster than trying to go through that left side over there.
ちょっ
And again, very tight timing on that jump.
て
If
く
I
だ
don't
さい
do that
ね。
exactly right, I will
調
miss
べ、
getting up on that platform.
あ、
I just won't get enough height as you saw.
これじゃないですか、今。
These
いいの
enemies right here, the ropers, are weak to ice magic, and we get our next guaranteed MP increase scroll drop. And as you saw right there, since I had a magic power, immediately pushed me back up to max MP. If for some reason I took a little longer to get up on that platform and I lost the max MP, there are some backup potions right here I could have grabbed. But thankfully we don't need the backup potions, so we're moving on through. We're now in a forest area, and you know, more angry Cerberuses, weak to ice magic, both of them are, so we're going to keep the ice magic on, get another max MP upgrade, and as you'll notice, as we proceed the generation,
エビルドラゴン。
gets a
多
little
分
bit、
エ
stronger
ビル
as
ドラゴン
well.
はその例の
We started with a little bit more
恐竜
HP
人
and a little more MP than
多いですね。
our father did. And we are just cruising on the MP route. We already have 60 max MP. I think we end out this chapter with about 70 something. Magic is super important, so that's why we generally get high MP counts right here. We're going to blow up these crabs.
今いるのが熱帯雨林っていうステージですね。
I grew up in a fishing town. I know what I'm talking
敵は
about.
マンティス。引き続きできてますね。マンティス
And we're
と
going to grab
テ
our
ンタクル、
health magic
テンタ
pickup.
クルプラント
After you
と
get health 2,
リザードマ
move
ン
on to health
と、
3.
トードスト
Actually
スト
give
ー
you the
ル
ability to defeat
と、
undead enemies.
アーマードオーク、アー
Shockwave
マードオー
burst.
ク
As you heal
と、
yourself, now damage
セ
undead
セン
enemies
タ
that
ー
couldn't otherwise be
と
defeated
サンドフィッシュ。
through any other means.
はい、終わりましたね。今いるのが呪術師の森なのかな。あれは、でもただ、あれ違う。あ、じゃあ今が熱帯雨林かと。
Just vibing in the music for a second here.
今熱帯雨林に入りました。
Very scary mantis. Not only does it fly from off screen, but you notice he's taking way less damage than his other
呪術師の
counterparts.
村はま
And
だ
right
です
there
ね。
you saw Philip's contribution to the martial art of the bloodline. Every time I do a dash slash from now on, I will now do a backhanded swing. And while it looks very cool, I won't lie, it has a bit of a downside. It's one of the only upgrades I'm not really a fan of when it comes to the upgrades of the martial arts. And that is that while it gives you a wider hitbox on that side that you hold the blade on, unfortunately it decreases the hitbox size directly in front of your character. So there will be a couple times where I definitely want to use a dash slash to stun enemies, and sometimes I will whiff. Just a fact of the martial art. Nothing I can do about it. Speaking of nothing I can do about it, I can't do
一気に魔法とかを引き継ぐ感じなのかな。それともマインをただただ持ってるだけなのか。なんか今光りましたね。無敵状態なのかな。プランが光ってるってことは、呪文入り放題とか。
than waiting on the cast for stealth in and out before you know it, and it's way faster than running around and doing what the game wants me to do. Typically, doing things your way instead of the way that the game wants you to do is faster, right, chat? Again, more lizard men. This time they threw an extra one at me, so now there's a group of 3. I'm going to see if I can again
これ使い放題っぽいですね。
to explode multiples of them.
見た感じ MP。あれ、その MP 減らない？
as opposed to just the one.
やんなわけない。多分さっきの状態だったら MP 減らずに呪文打ち放題みたいな感じっぽいですね。ワルキューレの冒険っていうゲームに出るんです。
You just hold right. Just keep holding right. Yep, the sandfish can't get you. And here we have our first introduction to centaurs. These enemies are kind of a menace. They have really active iframe boxes every time they move or do things. Typically getting them with the thunder spell right there is ideal because it has a lingering hitbox. And if you get point blank with it, it'll immediately trigger an explosion and have that lingering hitbox. If I were not to be next to an enemy when I cast thunder like that, it'll slowly send an orb up into the sky, and it'll kind of dangle there. And Red, I got a shop!
Oh no!
ということで、呪術師の森に入り、村に入った。
Remind people we have other prizes aside from the ones ending at the end of this run. We of course have our grand prizes. Have the Buster Sword that's available for the entire event. And that has a $250 cumulative donation, which means that it can be multiple donations over the course of the event. You don't have to do it all at once. We also have, for the first half of the event, we've got a custom Game Boy Advance SP that's got the lovely mascot for Limit Break on it. Looks really good. That's going till the end of Live a Leave, which is the
の
end of
前
the
に
first
これは
half of the
店に
event.
寄ってま
That's
す。
the 75 cumulative donations, so get in for those, as well as the other prizes I told you about that are ending at the end of this run.
Perfect, thank you very much. Now, a neat little feature of the shop here is sometimes we'll have forced dialogue, and what you'll notice through the generations, depending on your lineage, each character will talk to the shopkeeper differently, even down to their yes/no choices. If you saw me hit "Nah, old timer" right there, that's Philip's way of talking. He somehow picked up a British/Australian accent to speak to NPCs. Meanwhile, right here, we see why I switched the mind magic before ending the stage right here. I can't open the menu right now. I could sit here and mash triangle. I cannot get the menu open. So sometimes we will pre-switch magic
術師の
for
森
situations
は、
like that, just so we can get through these encounters quickly. Unfortunately, the Rhinoids did not play nicely.
ね
Didn't group up for me, but it is what it is. It's still
ラ
infinitely
ラ
challenging.
ライノ、ライノ、ライノイドみたいな名前と、アーマードオーク
different methods
と、デ
introduced
デー
for
モン
progressing
フィリ
through
ット
rooms.
と、
Right here we have
ソー
armored
サラ
orcs.
ーと、
These fellas do not
セン
have
ター
any iframes to speak of. None. You can beat them up however you want. They will not
ってのが
have
出てく
any
るっ
sort
ぽい
of
です。
iframes. I just knocked him down with a running slash, and he had no iframes. A very interesting enemy. Now, the trade-off for that is they hit like trucks. If I ever get hit by those orcs, which is very rare, they'll do like a quarter of my HP in one
で、
attack.
セン
It's
タ
very
ー
scary.
が、
Speaking of spooky, we have ghosts right here, and that's the crumple attack you never want to see me get hit by. Unfortunately, you have to break that
なのかな？
crate and get that chalice to open the door
で、
there.
多分ライノイドは多
Upgrade
分サイ
right
ジに
here.
合ってる
Speaking
と
of
思います。
upgrades, that's a fire upgrade, and I don't want to have to actually defeat these enemies, so we do a strategic dash slash to get hit by the bacula and
知
get
らない敵
knocked
出て
into
きたん
their
だけど、
hitbox to grab that tome.
どなたでしょ
It
う
was
か。
actually discovered by me as one of my contributions to the route here. I was thinking, man, it's so slow to kill these enemies. Can I just get in there and get the magic? And sure enough, where there's a will, there's a way. Going through the room right here, we're introduced to
で、
sorcerer
一切主
enemies.
人
They are
あ
weak to
あれ
ice magic
あ、
because they cast fire magic.
一切主
That's
人
just
公と
how
か
that
触れ
works.
てなかったので、ちょっ
Forget
と
the
読んで
fact
み
that
ま
they're
す。ウィ
spellcasters
キ
and
ペディア
can be
参
resistant to
照
all
で、
forms of magic. No, because you cast
お
fire,
そらく
you're
主
weak
人
to
公は、
ice.
フィリッ
We'll see enemies
プ・
later that cast
バー
ice
クレー
magic,
君
and you
らしい
guessed
で
it,
す。
chat, they're weak to
オ
fire
ーデル
magic.
さん
The
と
game is
パ
a
ーナ
very
さんの
simple
息子で、
elemental
貿易商として航海している途中、
weakness. This is kind of
魔
like
物
us
に
if
襲
you're
撃され、
weak
船に
to,
船か、
or, you know, if they're
海に
rooted
落
in
ちてしま
metal,
う。
they might
し
be
かし
weak
奇
to
跡的に
lightning.
パ
You
ーレ
never
島という
know.
小さな島にたどり着き、
Let's
魔
jump
剣
right
カ
into
ドゥ
it.
ムを
So
手に入れ
switching
た
to
後、
thunder
再
magic
会
here
した
because
ジー
we
ネ
have
と、
two
帝
centaurs
国に
to
救う
fight
ドラゴンを
again.
倒して、ジ
Let's
ー
see
ネ
if
自
they
身を
play
報
nice
酬
for
と
me
する
there. They're
契
going to try
約を
to
して、
shoot me.
帝
No, they're
国へ
both
向
going
か
to
うも、
rear up,
ドラゴン
and
を
I'm
去っ
going to
てし
run
ま
up
っ
to
た。
one of them.
向こうの怪物たちを退治しての
There
ちょ
we
ん
go.
帝
The
国へ
hit box on the thunder magic
なっ
actually
て、
destroys
向
the
こうの
arrows.
怪
That
物
was a
たちを
very
退治
nice
する後
pattern
も、帝
from those
国に
two
残り、
centaurs, and we're
結果的
already
にジーネ
done with
と
the
は結
shaman
ばれている。
village.
ま
Let's
た、
talk to the
最終
elf right here.
的
He's
ア
going to
ゾ
tell
ス
us
と
that
カ
there
ド
is an
ム
evil
の2本の魔剣を所持しているはずだが、アゾスはここに
turns
継
out
承
it
さ
is
れず、
another
不
dragon.
完全
So
で、
whether we
バ
believe
レ
it
て
or
しまっ
not,
た
it
のか。
seems
シ
like
ナ
we're
リオ
going
上
to
で
win.
は、第4章で A シナリオ
Tells
と同じ
us
くクロ
to
セルが
defeat
所持している
wherever
だ
we
そう
go.
で
So
す。
we're going to go into the heart of the rainforest and we're going to
ウィキ
fight
ペ
a
ディアに
sword
よると。
dragon that is the dreaded enemy of this run, the ultimate time waster, thunder. But first, we got to get to him. So through the rainforest we go. Now, right here, we're going to have two giant enemy crabs, but it's more optimal
では
right
ま
here
た
to kind
ス
of
テー
run
ジが
around
変わ
and
り
do
まして、
impales to try to clip into them if they're
おそ
nice
ら
and
くここは
following
密林
you.
奥地というステージでしょう。
And they are not today, so that's okay. We could go to them.
敵はジャイアントクラブ。
What we can also do is break this crate open and
ソ
reveal
ードストール
magic power, and we're
と、
just going to go ahead and hit the other crab with their true weakness,
ス
thunder.
コーピオン
I
か、
know
スコーピオン
you would
と
think、explosions would be a weakness, but no,
ク
thunder is
ラ
a
イス
natural
テ、
extended
クラ
weakness.
イスタイルナイト
And moving
と
on
サンドフィッ
with
シュ君
our thunder 2
と、
upgrade.
あれ、
Right
ド
here
ラ
we're
ゴン
going
サン
to
ダー。
switch to stealth magic because
と
again,
はボスがい
remember
るかもし
chat,
れません。
if
こ
it
のス
can't
テー
see
ジ。
you, it can't hurt you. The only thing that I can be hit by, quote unquote, while I'm in stealth state are mushrooms. Mushrooms count as a pickup, and you can
あとは
pick
その
up
クリスタル
items
ナイトです。
while you are stealth. So you'll actually see not only do mushrooms make me slow, eat my HP, but they also break stealth and
これですね、
they're
クリスタル
bad.
ナイト。
Mushrooms are not good in this game. I hate to say it, Chad. I love mushrooms personally. They're delicious, but in the context of this game, they're no good. So again, turning invisible to run away
すごい
from
便
our
利そうですね。
scary spike problems right here.
見た感じマグマも止めるかも。敵と接触するまで地形のダメージを無効化できそうですね、これは。敵と接触すると、その分、防衛将軍の MP とかがロスになるよって感じなのかな。それとも攻撃したら解除されちゃうよって感じなんでしょうか。
This boss, every time it moves, every time it does something, can give itself active invincibility frames or iframes by shrouding itself in lightning magic.
ということで、ボスのドラゴンサンダー
attack here just to get a mine to trigger underneath an activated hitbox. If I
で
don't
すね。
do that, mine magics will not explode when I push them
雷を
into his
司
feet.
る皮膚は電気を蓄えており、相手はそれだけで感電する。殺傷力の高い雷を起こすこともでき、相手を瞬時に焼き付け出すより注意切りや参照です。
Minding our spacing, the hitbox on that thunder shroud is very, very large.
ヘルファイアドラゴンと比べたら結構倒すの苦戦してます。
And now the idea here is 1, 2, 3. Try to force this. I have a very small window to get that explosion to hit its legs. If I don't, it will go and start wandering around and go into its attack patterns. And I'm trying not to call for quiet time here, but I am having to focus a little bit here. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to phase skip this boss by doing this. I will have to let it transform just because we tested it. You actually can't force a kill. So this will be my last mind cast right here. And now I will let it transform into its next phase, where it has even more annoying attacks. There's one of them right here. So these orbs are going to chase me down. They have gigantic hitboxes. And you see he gets tuckered out. Unfortunately, I didn't get the weak point trigger right there.
形態がちょっと変わりました。
Gonna go ahead and do a safety heal right here. This is a very scary part of the fight where you're supposed to be able to take him out, but unfortunately, he just does not like to play nice. And down he goes. And got a last attack in there. The cheekiness of it. But down goes Thunder. Those new strats right there save us.
やりましたね。
4 minutes minimum. Again,
やっぱ地震魔法相当大変なことになってますね。
fight took 5+ minutes. We get our first glance at
なんか来
never
た。
fight this boss during this route. This is the only story path where you don't
二連戦。
fight that Pula. Every other time.
今のやつ何だったんですか？
One of the speed contributions is we just don't have to fight him.
ということで、次はパーレ・ルインズということで、パーレ古代遺跡。
But because it's a snooze fest.
ドラゴンハー
The
フ
devs went really hard in here on making it to
パー
where
レ古代遺跡のあるステージに入ったっぽいですね。敵は、ローパーと、スモールローパーと、デーモンスプリットと、ジャイアントナイトと、ゴールと、センターさんと、ストーサラーと、ゾンビと、カールナイトと、デーモンアーマー、
Ghosts can't catch it if you keep running. Right here, we have 3 centaurs.
と、
This
ボ
looks
ス
like a
一
very
匹
annoying
対
fight, bad
して
spacing,
る
but
って
right here,
感じっ
we're
ぽいですね。
another
多分。
bomb. There you go. Let's see if they gave us any goodies. I need some backup. No MP, unfortunately. It's okay. Thankfully, our sorcerers have a chance to drop some MP right here. We might be a little magic starved, but we do have backups for that in case that does happen. Again, all of the drops from enemies are RNG dependent. Besides our MP upgrades and our strength upgrades. Right here, we're going to make a very long jump. Let's see if we can make it.
今、
There
鍵
we
取
go.
りました。
So instead of having to push
おそら
that
く。
block all the way back up against the wall and de-triggering that flame trap, we say, hey, why don't we get our cake and eat it too? So we grab the key and jump to that lithograph upgrade. That's another one of our generational upgrades that's going to permanently give me +1 MP all the way through the rest of the run. There we go. Sorcerers are down. No magic today. Extra stingy. This next fight is going to be terrifying. But thankfully I have full HP for it. And then we have a circle of mushrooms. I knew I was getting that double clipped. Unfortunate. But it does mean I do get 2 casts.
いやらしい位置にドッキの子ありますね、これ。
While I'm retracing my steps here, Red, you got anything for the chat?
Actually, yes, I've got a couple of donations for us. First of all, we have a Donation of $10 from Patron Saint says, "Gotta go to work, but want to donate for the enthusiasm and wholesomeness in this Dragon Valor run. Good luck, Hebinx." And we've got a $14 donation, anonymous, that says, "This game has it all: double dragons, star power, and crab raves."
Yeah, this game is definitely an anomaly. It's kind of an
あ、これ
underrated,
がジャイアントナイ
underrated
ト。
gem in my opinion. For a game that has such tight movement, such fun combat, such unique mechanics when it comes to that stuff, this guy is giving me the business. It really
現
is
在
one of a
も
kind.
解説者さんの方は募集中で
You'll
す。
get
確か
the
フォームがあ
bread
る
and
はずな
butter
の
of
で、
this
今から
run.
申請していただけれ
Fire
ばすぐ
3. Now I am a little
解
low
説
on
とか行きますの
resources,
で、もしこ
definitely
のゲーム
do
知ってる
resource
よで、
conservation
声出
here,
してもいい
but
よ
I
って方
do
がいたら
am
ぜ
going
ひ
to be very
来ていた
particular
だける
about
と
my
めちゃめちゃ
MP
助かり
because
ま
of
す。
MP usage for the rest of the run here. So for instance, there's going to be a room with a sorcerer. Normally I would switch to ice magic to take him down in one shot. Unfortunately though, I will have to do a backup strat here where I instead attack them physically because I don't have a lot of MP. This platform is impossible to get on the first rotation. It's positioned just high enough and raises just
あ
soon
の
enough so
URL で
you
すね。
can't get on it. A little bit of a troll from the developers there. Then it will not be the last time they do that. They love messing with the players when it comes to platforms. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this MP now. Oh, we can also grab it on the way
天
out.
蹴り
But
なる
for
も
my
の
own
があ
sake,
る
I'm
んです
gonna
か？
go ahead and grab it here.
バク転蹴り
Right here we got 2 zombies and a sorcerer, so good old impale backup strats. Do your stuff. Ah, nice. He positioned himself very well to be attacked again. And he
ジ
dropped
ャン
magic.
プし
Let's
て
go.
右
Thank
手
you,
衝撃波
sorcerer,
出
the
す技
real
めちゃめ
MVP
ち
of
ゃ
this
強い
run
です。
here. Definitely low on magic power there. I will also take a strength upgrade just for a backup strat in case I miss my fireballs against the boss later. And right here we have another bit of manipulation that we could do with the blocks. However, moving them is terribly slow, and thankfully with precise double jumping, we could get around these blocks no problem. I will only have to push one of them, and that's only once. So we give this little block here a tiny shove. We're going to go ahead and jump up here. Precise double jump right up to this platform. Break this crate from far away because it does have one of those nasty little mushrooms for us. In a weirdly shaped alcove that's hard to jump out of. We do a nice double jump right here, get up to this platform, and into the upper section, backtracking our way to the exit over here. There is an upgrade down to the south, but it is not needed. I believe it's a chalice, if I remember correctly. It's been so long since I picked it up. But we have plenty of HP. 40 is enough for us. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. Right here, I'm going to see if I can get past this fire jet pattern. One go.
回避
Let's
コー
go.
ド、ああ、なるほど。
We didn't even have to hide from our problems. We just run from them. And on we go.
垂直切り、
And now
垂
we're
直
gonna
切り
make our
3
way
倍はドラゴンバスター
walk
の
fast
方。
onto the boss.
回避コードから
Did all that just
逆
to
に
grab a key, so we
派生できるん
down
ですね。
here. Another backup HP fill
通常
right
プレイヤー
there.
とそういうの
Don't
を
need
活用
to
し
tank
て
it,
や
so
る
we
と
didn't
楽な
get
の
hit.
かな多分。
And we're on to the Guardian after some Skelly boys.
結構このダンジョン長めですね。とか言ってたら、多分ボス戦ですね、これは。
Now the Guardian doesn't
あ、
wake
違っ
up until we
た
get。into a unique proximity. I'm going to back up a little bit and see if I can trigger a certain animation. Did
あ、これです
trigger
ね。
for me. Gonna
が
take the trade here. The explosion on fire 3 magic is what makes
え
this
ー
run
と、
what it is.
ガ
So the
ーディアン、
aftershock
ガー
right
ディアン、だ
there,
から
only
守護
kill
者
that boss in 3 hits. In
の
every
戦
other
闘っ
run,
ぽいですね。
you have to kill that boss with a minimum of 8 to 10 hits.
とか言っ
He
てた
has
ら
a
もう
ton
や
of
れちゃい
HP
ま
and
し
a
た、
ton
ガ
of
ーディアンさん。
resistance. However, Fire 3 magic has a weird attribute to it. Not only does the initial impact cause damage, the aftershock explosions have active hitboxes that can hit multiple times and do double damage of the initial impact of
で、
the fireball.
これ
So
終わっ
for
て
the
ジ
rest
ラ
of
ー
the
ト
run
戦
here,
艦
I will
内
be
に行
throwing
ったん
fireballs
です
at
けど、イ
walls,
ベント
I will be
で
throwing fireballs at invincible enemies
終
just
わ
to
りっ
hit them with
ぽい
that
ですね。
explosion. That is going to be our major exploit for this route, and that is why this is world
魔
record
法
time.
相当強そうですね。
So a couple
ということ
cutscenes
で、
here
多
we
分
have to
こ
go
こから
through.
第4章に入
Basically,
り
the
ます。
princess finds us again
で
as
第
we
4
approach.
章
Two
は、
magic
お
swords
そら
that
く、
can
古代
also
竜
become king.
5子
Let's get married and rule the kingdom of Gyrat together while protecting the world. And so we
って
agree.
いう
We
ス
settle
ト
down
ー
with
リー
the
で、
princess of Gyrat, and
な
we
んかさっ
become
きの
king. Meanwhile, Halfast and Crassel there, off Vapula off screen. You never get to fight him. He just gets KO'd in that cutscene. And then we marry the queen, and we have twins,
これで
Anna
今、
and Mihhail. Right here, we're going to
継
do a
承
disc
先選んで
change.
ます。
I have had a couple issues with disc changing, just to
イ
let
ン
our projections
インサートドラ
know
ゴ
it
ン。
may not read.
なるほど。
The way the
ディ
disc
スク 2。
grabs the scene.
確かプ
I
レス
do
テの
have
ゲー
a
ムだから
backup
ディスク
on the
2
memory
なの
card
か。
just in case. Let's go ahead and cross our fingers. Chat, will it read? No problems.
ディ
Let's
スクチェンジ。
go. So we're on to the second half. Yes, this game does have 2 discs. It's just that large. There's
プ
so
レス
much
テだから
action
必要
packed
な
in
のか。
and we're on to play as Mihail. So we learn of the demon's plot to resurrect the Dragon King. And to stop it, we have to find the third magic sword. We left Azos, the gray sword, at home, and we took Kadum, the route's namesake, with us. The blue sword looks like a tuning fork.
で、
But
主
this
人
sword is
公
different.
が
Its strength
誰
is
でしょう
supposed to
か、
be
この
the
方は。
magic power sword, which is helpful for us because we love magic in this run. So we take our sword, which I think looks rather awesome, and we are going to try to find the third sword soul. As we go through these runes here, I will go ahead and talk about Mihail's addition to the martial bloodline skills here, which is the rising attack you saw where I shoved the sword up in the air and had a trail of fire
多
behind
分
it.
今いるの
Has
が
now
サル
been
ド古代石
upgraded
って
to
とこ
be a
で、
rising spin
敵が
armor.
デビル、
So not only does it now have an vertical hitbox,
デビ
which
ル
is very generous, it now has a radial hitbox,
AXE さん
which you
と、
can use as well. So
ス
while
カー
this
ル
is
ナイト
I'll
さ
go
ん
ahead and show
と、
you.
リザード
Earlier,
マン
the
さん
spin right
と、
here
ウィル・
has
オ
a
ー・ザ・ウィ
very
スプさん
generous
と、
hitbox. It
ジ
does
ャ
a
イアントナイ
good
トさん
amount
っ
of damage.
ぽいですね。
Chat, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're gonna go ahead and crouch under this fire right here. No problems. We're just gonna duck under it, and away we go. And leap of faith. No worries. Gonna go ahead and go through this room right here and
ミハエル。
this door. There's nothing over there to the right. I believe it's like a small pickup.
ん
Do not be tempted,
多分
chat.
主人公の名前が
Now
ミハエル
grab
さん
that
ってこ
pickup.
とですか、
There is
多
a
分。
big spooky
あ、
hand
こ
that
れ
will
か。
pop out
ミ
of
ハエ
the
ル・ジラート・レイン・スターク
Just
さんっ
like
ぽ
all
いですね。
masters, they will take you back to a certain stage of the dungeon. We don't want that.
ジラート、
Actually, a hole
多分
right
分
here.
岐
We
によっ
skipped the
て
entire
誰の
section
子
of
供か変
library.
わって、ジラート
There
帝
we go.
国の
Never worried.
奉仕さん。
Not even a little bit.
で、双子
Again,
の、
we have a star NBA
し、
player coming in at me. This one is in even better armor.
あ、姉弟で、姉はアンナ。
A little bit of indecision there
で、
from
いろいろとあって、
unfortunately,
性
but
格はシナリオによって若
not
干
being
異な
generous
る
with
ら
the
しく
hitbox
て、多
just
分今いるのが
right
A
here.
シナ
He
リオ
does
な
let
の
her
で、
magic.
臆病ながら優
Unfortunately,
しい
the
性
hit frame
格
right there is gonna block
ら
this
しいで
attack
すね。
and
多分。
get him again. And we did all of
いや、
this.
嘘ですね。これ B シナリオなんで違いますね。花壇で、姉のアンナが早く弟離れしてほしいと願う青年になってるそうです。A シナリオの方だと緑色の服で、B シナリオだと赤い服を着てるそうです。おー。
Rooms that we just went through here. It does put us in an evil mushroom circle, but it's okay. We can get around it. Way more generous tolerances than the one on that switch earlier. And again, not worried about my magic consumption here because the game generously gives me that 30 MP. And just like that, we're through this door. This room weirdly has pillars, platforms on fire. Probably tempted for us to try to get that magic, but I don't want to spend magic to get magic, so we just run by it. We'll raise an eyebrow, but otherwise it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and switch the fire magic here and block this incoming attack, and try to get some shockwaves going on here. Unfortunately, not
リ
generous.
ザードも色変わってますね。
They
上位種
decided
で
to
しょう
do
か。
their dive kicks. Unfortunate. But you know, we'll work on getting our physical strength upgrade. That's our first scroll. And up the staircase and through the introduction chapter of Mihail. The next dungeon does not have a little bit going on for the first part here, Red. So if you have anything for our lovely chat, I'd love to hear it.
Certainly, I can, of course, talk about why we're here, because, of course, we are here to support
Under the
National
Ruins.
Alliance on mental illness. And in an effort to support
ん
their mission
じゃあ
statement,
これ
we
が、
want to encourage our viewers in chat and our donors to
こ
avoid
れが
using
巨
mental
大
health
地下遺
related
跡、地下部
prerogatives when describing
とこっ
situations
ぽい
that
です
are
ね。多分、おそ
extraordinary.
らくきっ
These
と。
include terms like crazy, insane, mental, nuts, bonkers, etc.
敵が、スティングレイと、スケルトンと、スターフィッシュと、ローパーと、イブフルと、アーマード、
So right there, you saw me take out the Iron Giant there.
ベーテル
Just
さ
to
ん
grab a key.
と
Now I have to leave that
ガル
room
ナイトさん
because the
と
key doesn't
ソ
go
ー
to the
サラーさ
music
ん
room. That would make
ぽい
too
で
much
すね。
sense. Just like these flying manta rays, flying stingrays, they make perfect sense, right? Stingrays fly and shoot lightning. That key actually went to this door. So we're going to use that key to go through this door to go push a button to open up another door or back to where we came from. Don't worry about it. It makes perfect sense. Runes are awesome. And again, a little low on my magic routing here. So instead of taking out the sorcerer with a blizzard or ice magic spell, instead I am going to try to strategically manipulate it into these zombies. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get them to follow me too quickly. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hey, there we go. Playing nice again. Sorcerers, the real MVPs. Missed the timing on stopping that, but slight input issues on my end. It's a skill issue, chat, I know. Missed the timing on that one as well, but it's okay. Only cost us a couple seconds there. None of the enemies being nice with their MP drops, but it is what it is. We have backup routes just for that. Dodge the evil mushroom down the staircase. It will be there on our return trip as well. And our first introduction to another mechanic. These are zip lines. Whee! There we go. And we go down the zip line. Always fun down. We're going to go ahead and intentionally take some damage right here into the purple acid pool for that MP pickup. Ooh, got a one-frame jump right there. Not ideal, but it is what it is. There's a backup pickup of magic. Over here, speaking of backups, we have a lithograph hiding behind that pole. So that is 4 plus 1 MP maximums we have now that'll carry on into the final chapter of the game. And while we backtrack here, want to go ahead and let chat know, like, we don't have to refight any of the rooms that are locked by enemy counts. So just like this room right here, you'll see me retread through them. You might think, oh no, he's got to fight all these enemies again. Not true. Once you get the kill count down in a room, that condition is cleared and you can run through it freely any other time, thankfully. Got to remember to push the action button or the attack button to open that door there instead of just walking through it. That would be way too convenient. Everybody say hi to the lightning shooting stingrays again. They're not going to get me. They're not going to get me. They didn't get me. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and run a little bit out of our way here to grab some backup HP. This routing for HP and MP is just a little tight through this next couple of levels with Mihail here, so I am going to go ahead and try to be conservative here to make sure I give you guys the best run. Let's see if we get good pattern here. Good pattern, good pattern. Yeah. That giant Iron Knight can do a secondary follow-up swing after that first one that is almost guaranteed to hit me. Does a ton of damage, and I just healed up, so I would not like to see that. Thank you very much. So everybody, thank the giant Iron Knight for being cooperative. We have these abomination stingrays here again, and I no, stop flying. Stop flying. All right. I think we're safe. Are we safe? We're safe. Awesome.
なんか途中行き止まりがあるっぽいんですけども、何かしら仕掛けを解いてその先に行くっぽいですね。
Double check my math right here. Really quick chat. Okay, good. So up here in this room, we have our first introduction to the sorceress enemy. Counterpart to the sorcerer, this one shoots ice magic, but just like the sorcerer, if you hit them with their weakness, they go down in one shot. If I did not hit that sorceress with their weakness, I would have to go ahead and do 2 hammer blows, and she would teleport away. A little bit slow here. Thankfully, the devs were nice enough to put a MP30 on the staircase, and on we go, level complete.
もう出ちゃいましたね。
And we are on to the deepest parts of the ruins here.
ザ・デザートパレス。あれこれ見てるのと違う。
In the sense that it will introduce mechanics to you and then subvert your expectations that were just newly introduced with something that
もうわかんないですね、こっからは。
It's an unfortunate design element that the devs decided to go with, and I'll do my best to sherpa you through them as we go through here. We're going to ignore that first door right there because we need to find a switch to open up a door. So we're going to go through here. And you saw the platform above that door there. That's where I need to get to push that switch. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go all around these enemies here, do a couple exploratives.
もう折り返し。宮殿の最深部。多分これがあれか。さっき言ったウィン。あ、今、トーチに火つけましたね。このゲーム、呪文で苦しくなるんですね。今のが最深部のかな。
Precisely with double jumps, you can skip waiting on the elevator altogether. Love to see that movement there. Right here, we're actually going to run up against this pillar. There's a hidden chalice right here. I do want the increased HP. Bosses in this chapter hit particularly hard. Again, we have fans combined with flaming platforms. So fans will automatically push you towards the wall like you see right here. But again, if we just hide,
あ、また
they
テール
can't
ス使い
hurt
ましたね。
us. Stay with me now, chat. If fire can't see you, it can't hurt you. So right here, we're going to follow this trail of money to get past these zombies. We don't have to fight to get through this door. And again, we're introduced to this zip line. This is very tight timing, so I'm going to be quiet for just a second here. I have to let go of the hold input on the exact moment where I hit that that valve, or if you ride the zip line all the way in, you have to do all of that again, run up to the zip line, press a crank on the wall, slowly return the zip line to position, and then try again. Very mean from the developers there. Again, we have the Harmless Baculas. We're going to run around these guys. There's a full MP pickup right there. I'm going to save that for later, however. And right here in this room, you'll see this lightened section of the floor. Ideally, originally you're supposed to go ahead and push that block, but with some very tight double jump timing, we can get up to these platforms without having to touch that block at all, except to maybe stand on it. So we're running up these stairs right here, and you might be wondering why. Like, where is it taking us? It's going to take us to a room with some checkered floors, and you'll notice here there's an off-colored tile. There we go. This one's not checkered, the other one is, but it still had an off-colored tile. We're going to impale through it. That's the only way to get through it, and grab us a key. I walk right there just for safety's sake. If I try to sprint, sometimes I might miss the key and fall off. The perspective's a little wonky on that part particularly. And we're back in the fan room. So again, we hide from our problems, and that's why we saved the full MP pickup for later. Just because I knew we were going to need to use stealth again, and trying to grab that pickup before we use stealth again would be a waste of magic. Thankfully, this time we do not have to ride the zip line, so I'm not even going to bother trying to crank it back up into position. And right there, that showed that even with the tightest of double jump timing, we just can't get to that platform without riding that evil zip line. Making our way back through here. We're going to get to the room of the block and then proceed forward. I am going to take an intentional hit of damage
あ
right
れ
here,
この
though,
マップ
because
さ
I
っきまで読
want
ませんでした。
the full MP. Oh, unfortunate. Missed the
ルー
timing.
プし
That's
てる
okay. We have another chance. There we go. And right on through. Now, instead of going to this upper platform over here, we're going to go to the platform over here on the left. And this is the only door that opens this way. So if you watch carefully, Chad, all the other doors have slid up, but this one, we're just going to push that one open. Weird design element from the devs, but you know what? It's their game. They can make it however they want. Again, Giant Knight, we're going to hit them with a wombo combo of Explosion into Thunder Magic here. They're kind enough to give us an HP pickup. Moving on to a room with, again, another of the NBA All-Stars, the Imperial Knights. Here he goes, major uptime. Gonna go ahead and try to take these gentlemen down with some impales to save some MP for my routing. Oh, unfortunate, got grabbed by the zombie. They do put you in a knockdown state if you get touched by them. An unfortunate aspect of fighting them. This Imperial soldier showing me just how physical resistant they are. I do have enough MP to spare, though, to get a Thunder off. And our Thunder Magic upgrade drops over here. And with that, here we go. Now, at the end of this dungeon here, we are going to have a very sad cutscene that we're going to skip. Our Knight Retainer Vilhern, who's been with us since childhood, is going to save us from a deadly attack from a demon and unfortunately sacrifice himself for us, spurring us again to the good old Barclay tradition of revenge. But first, shopping. So, Red, take it away.
まずショップに行くっぽいですね。
Once again, I just want to remind people we do have some incentives coming up for future runs. For example, we have an upcoming run for Final Fantasy VII, and you have options to name every character in that run that they have opened up. So Barrett, Cloud, Red 13, if you want to name those characters, you can put in to name them different things. Right now, Red 13 has Good Boy as its only name option, but that's a very good name. So you can keep that one in, or if you have something better, go for it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now that we're through our unskippable shop, we can go ahead and proceed with Revenge all the way up to Mount Vieira. I believe this is the walk.
で、おそらく次がベレヤさんっていうステージですね。出てくる敵は、でも進出はいなさそうですね。バットと、フレッシュデーモンと、ウィル・オー・ザ・ウィスプと、デーモン・アーマーと、ライノイドと、ジャイアントナイトと、スティングレイと、スコーピオンと、クリスタルナイト。ほとんど敵の構成はあんまり変わんないです。
Everybody say hi. Another round of blow uppies over here. Never scared. And down goes Rock John. Nice for down for a nice nappy nap. Over here, we're going to do some lava platforming. I might take a hit here. If I do, not the end of the world. Up, just barely missed. It's okay. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and try to get around this wall.
ほとんど雑魚出てきてるんですね。
Let's see if I can make the jump. Nope. Clipped on the invisible wall. That's okay. Ride the platform over. And through we go. Now in through this room, we're going to go ahead and switch the ice magic here. We have a sorcerer available. Run past the works real quick, and then we'll do a 360 spin. Great analog movement right there. Magic potion drop. Going to go ahead and backflip on over to that. Again, the range on the ice magic, very short. No iframes on
アーマードオークもいます。
They were not very aggressive, so they are not in ideal positions, but we can get them with some backup routing right there. More tight platforming through this lava section right here. Gonna go ahead and hit these very small platforms. Try to get them in a particular speed. Missing this. Please no, please no. Oh, just barely getting past those flame traps. Gonna go ahead and grab this backup HP right here as we make our way over to this door that we needed that key for. And on to Little Mushroom Friends, and we are going to switch to Thunder Magic, not for the mushrooms, but for the Iron Demon Knights sitting over there menacingly. Ooh, these mushrooms are being rather mean to me. Unfortunate. There we go. Gonna go ahead and get these two, and hope the other one wanders into us with the lingering hitbox. Does not, and he's gonna wander off. Unfortunate RNG right there. Hello? There we go. Switch the fire magic here. Now, Red, you have exactly until I push this block 8 times to get in something for our chat. So if you got anything for them, please, by all means.
Well, chat's all vibing to the music. And they say to always go shopping before exacting revenge.
Sage advice indeed. And yes, the music in this game is a vibe. I love it immensely. Very heavy on the synthetic organs and guitars and just upbeat in general. There's a couple slow tracks like you heard in the ruins, but otherwise very energetic music, really getting you pumped for revenge. And gonna hit the sorcerers here. Unfortunately, didn't clip either of the lizard men with the after explosions of fire, but thankfully they did go ahead and drop an MP pickup for us here. So gonna go ahead and kindly take that, and then for some reason the devs
このゲーム、剣も魔法もどっちも強くて、本当にいいですね。大体こういうゲーム、剣か魔法どっちかに強さが偏るもんなんですけど、どっちも強いのはいいですね。
So on to the Citadel of Varia. Unfortunately, chat, for our Metroid fans, there are no Varia seats here. Your princess is in another castle.
カルデロブ・バラってことはバラ火山。
But we do have one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. This is just hi-hat heavy, impulsive, just
じゃな
getting
い。
you
これ
pumped.
は
You're getting ready
ベ
to exact your revenge.
ベレヤ城塞都市って場所っぽいですね、多分。 城塞都市ですが、ダンジョンっぽいですね、これは。明らか歓迎してくれてなさそうですね。
I feel so fortunate that I ran into this growing up. You have no idea. Almost got shot right there. You'll see why I pushed those 3 switches in a second, but first we have to fight these assassin ladies. Our first encounter with them, you'll hear them backflipping off screen here. They always start off backflipping into a wall. We got lucky with a double clip right there on one of the fireballs. Unfortunately, we didn't get the second one, but we defeat them to pick up this gold key just to run to the right side over there. But on the other side of this door, you'll see that where I push the switches, after I hit the 3rd switch, it spawned in a chalice. So again, another max MP upgrade right there. The game really does not try to hide these at all. So if you're worried about routing your HP up to a comfortable level, don't. Generally, the game will throw those upgrades right in front of you for the pickings. So back to this lever over here. We're going to pull it over to the right this time and raise the other drawbridge and lower the other one. There we go, we're on to the right side. Another shining moment for the analog movement in this game here. Normally we would not be able to hold an optimal angle to get through these fan segments. However, because I'm on analog controls, I can hold a specific angle to get through those rather quickly. It's a little cumbersome to do that on D-pad. And again, a better picture of the assassin girls, but second verse, same as the first. Double fireball, down they go. Our last upgrade for the defense magic we'll never use, it makes our sword look like a giant beam saber. I wish I had time to show that off to you, chat. You'll just have to take my word for it here. Giant cheese grater alert. It's going to catch me. Unfortunately, I clipped into the wall corner there. But yes, you know, key part of any dungeon is having a giant spinning death wheel as you do. No need to grab magic here. Our next boss that we're about to fight behind this door actually is immune to magic. We're going to have to fight them with completely physical attacks. We take the wide angle there to get manipulate that Imperial Knight so we don't have to fight them, go straight into the door. And here's Grisampsius. He's introduced as Demon in the first text box here. He says his name later, but we don't have time for him to introduce himself. We got Revenge to extract. He has a very annoying teleport move. Every time he casts...
今回マイン受けてないんで、マップに戦うんでしょうか。
He also has the chance that if you are too close to him when he spawns back in, he might teleport away. Nope, I'm out of the vortex. Okay, that actually has a gravitational effect to it to draw me into it. So I can get hit by it. Unfortunately, I got hit by this attack right here. Alright, am I close enough?
普通に強そう、このボスは。
Another vortex. This one I did get sucked into, so some clever backflipping gets us through that safely.
この3つに分裂して、ぐるぐる回ってくる攻撃強いですね。
Down he goes.
Nothing wrong with backflipping your problems away.
Yeah, you know, it's not only cool, it makes you invincible. It's got everything you need. Backflipping is everything you need. So Grisampsius tells us that his masters are deeper into the cave, and that we'll never defeat them. But you know, he's wrong, but that's okay. Right here we have a very, very mean thing.
なんかデーモン神殿の連絡道みたいな
Hopefully I get
場所っぽいですね。ラスダンに行くための道でしょうか。
I do not want to use stealth. We have to ride this very, very slow platform. But it's a red herring, chat, because right here, this other platform right here will zoom right on up. Thankfully, I was able to double jump right up to it. Very tight timing on that jump. If you don't get it the first time, you have really awkward pacing back and forth on that slow platform to catch that rising platform. So thankfully, I got it on the first try right there. Again, you tried to get away from me, but you know, double jumping. Double jumping's awesome. I wish I could double jump. We're going to get past these spooky boys right here just to fight the zombie. The zombie is the only enemy in here we have to defeat to get the drop we want. So the zombie goes down. It's going to spawn a key right here. We're going to run away from the spooky, scary skeletons. And away we go. that key to unlock that door here, and here we're going to see another floor tile that we have to impale through. Thankfully, it's the same weird green color as the last one, and it's on checkerboard pattern this time, so even easier to spot. You've seen it once, you've seen it twice now. Past these baculas, I can dash slash underneath that bacula into its hitbox to grab that potion if needed. However, my MP routing is looking very good right now. Everybody say hi to Rockchan. He's back again. We're going to blow him up. Sorry.
Hi, Rockchan.
Aw. Again, it looks like you're going to get hit by that, but he's harmless. I'm telling you guys, he's the perfect pet. Again, blow up. He's content now. He's going to leave us alone. He's perfectly fine. And we get our last stealth magic upgrade there with that gray tome. Now stealth magic will last a very, very, very long time. I think it's like 3 seconds worth of stealth after the final upgrade. It's insane how long it lasts. Clever double jump right here will get me around that corner. Up, 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 into a switch and a leap of faith. Never scared. On through a boring hallway to a door. And that's that whole level. Again, the hardest part of that was that first platform section. Very mean, very time-wasty. Otherwise a pretty innocuous level. Onto the force field. This is a gauntlet level. So, as I walk in through the force field here, gotta bob your head. This is a bop. You'll see that giant gate in the distance there. I have to go all the way to the left, and then all the way to the right to open up that gate, defeating all the
やっぱ敵の速さ、どんぐらい速く倒せるか。まあ、アーカイブには多分情報見た感じなさそうです。で、このダンジョンは、左右になんかボスがいて、そいつらを倒すと真ん中の扉が開いてっていう仕掛けっぽいですね。
Magic attack in here. Try to manipulate these enemies to wandering into the hitbox. Unfortunate. Gonna go ahead and get another attack off on the armor. And down he goes. And you see the full power of Thunder 3 right there. It spawns 4 orbs that linger and just do massive amounts of damage. This level is very generous with its HP and MP pickups through those crates, so you might see me stopping to get those. That's just to keep me on route. Meanwhile, again, back to good old trusty Fireball. Remember, chat, just Fireball. Just Fireball. Just Fireball. Past the roly-polies over here. We have a giant knight. He's going to try to be cheeky and swing at us, but we're going to Fireball him right in the face. And just for good measure, hit him with the good old Thunder. And on we go. Now we have to make our way back over, so Red, while I'm making the backtrack over here, if you got anything for the chat, now would be a great time.
Yeah, we want to give shout outs to the people involved with our foreign language restreams. Our French restream
Twitch.tv/貴重ですからね、今は。
and our Japanese restream at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. Those restreams can help you better enjoy the marathon. Please go check those out and send them some love as well.
Awesome. Yeah, shout outs to our restream community. Those guys do amazing work. Really getting the stream out there to folks who do not speak English natively. I'm sure they're having a heck of a time translating the garbage coming out of my mouth as I self-commentate here. So props to y'all again. Oop, accidentally got a little bit too close to the fire right there. Fire indeed hot, but thankfully we have a HP pickup right there that we can recover with. Sorceress bad, Fireball. Sorceress bad, Fireball. There we go, problem solved. And that one, both of them were generous enough to drop full MP restores. How nice. So no need to break
まあやっぱアーカイブ化するってやつね。コストとかもかかっちゃいますから。はしょうがない運命なんでしょうか。
And I'm going to do a little something out of the ordinary here. I'm not going to cast Fireball at these wasps just because I want to kill them with a physical attack to try to get a gem drop manipulated. There it is right there. So now my physical strength is increased. This will help me in a boss fight later with some platforms that I have to destroy while they're on top of them. I need enough strength to decrease the HP of the platforms. So that's an intentional manipulation of a drop right there to make sure that we have enough strength to break those as needed. And I'm just going to vibe here a little bit, chat. This is, again, a great track.
まあ、3D のゲームと 2D のゲームだとやっぱ移植のコストが違うんでしょうね、多分。
I played pit percussion in particular, so I'm a nerd for timpani, for chimes, for triangles, anything that you can find in an orchestral pit, in the percussion pit. I played it, I love it. Meanwhile, we got Rhinoids here, but again, just Fireball solves our problems, just like that. This Crystal Knight, however, will not be abated by Fireball. He's immune to magic attacks, so instead we're going to have to fight him the good old-fashioned way. Another reason why we pick up one of those strength gems. Unfortunately, you see the downside to that backslash that we inherited from our father Philip here. Thankfully, we managed to get him manipulated into a corner here. However, he's teleport. Sometimes when he activates a block frame,
ワープカーの無敵がなくなってるんですね。
they do it, but thankfully we have enough recovery. Again, holding neutral there will have us block their surprise attack. Pro tip, don't jump out in front of somebody to surprise attack them if they're already facing where you were. Try to pop up behind them. Usually works better. On to the Demon's Lair. So we're on to a boss gauntlet here. We're going to go through a couple rooms that are a little... This second room we're going to go into in particular is going to have this room is also going to have ghouls. You cannot defeat ghouls unless you cast healing magic. So the game devs basically force you to spend MP here. Thankfully, once I defeat the Crystal Knight, they will have an MP drop to restore my mana points. So they're a little cheeky, but it's for a teaching reason, so I understand it. So that little aura right there is how we defeat these ghouls. But as you saw, the MP cost is insane. We unfortunately triggered a second ghoul here. But thankfully, again, we're going to get an MP 30 drop from this Crystal Knight once it goes down. Not being very kind to us today, but that's okay. Sometimes you can get them, sometimes you can't. Some of this run is dependent on RNG and just the way the enemies behave. So being flexible and being able to adapt to that is kind of key for the run. Also having a hard time timing my dash slash in this room. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go for a single this time. Missed it, unfortunately. We're going to go for another single. There we go. And down he goes. And just like I promised, there is an MP pickup right here. Restoring our magic points. Down the very shallow staircase we go down here, a slight spiral. Again, another shining moment for the analog stick. Getting the angle on this weird curved staircase is a little awkward with D-pad. This room, we don't even have to fight anything. We just hold up and left, accidentally get clipped right here, that's okay. But again, magic pickups and HP pickups get us through that room. We don't have to fight anything. Switch to our fire magic here, because we're on to our first boss of this level, Crassel. A childlike demon that taunts us and unfortunately has a ton of RNG and iframes attached to them. So they sit up there on that platform. You cannot hit them while they're up on that platform. I could try to jump up and smack them. Unfortunately, it just will not do me any good. They're invincible the whole time.
確かに。これがクラーセルさん。ボスっぽいですね。ゲームアーカイブスあるんですね、ドラゴン。これがクロセルさん。言われてみれば確かに近未来風ですね。
Again, that does subsequently more damage than I would if I were to hit them with a head-on fireball. That was a little sketch. I don't know if I managed to hit them with the explosion or the fireball itself, just because I got hit right there. Now, you might be asking, why don't I just take down the Skelly Boys? And that's because, unfortunately, if you knock down any of the skeletons, Crassel now has a chance to resurrect them, having a whole other move cycle tied behind it, taking up more time that they could be spent jumping onto this platform for me over here.
このクロセルさんがこのゲームのラスボスらしいです。
Really showcasing how good it is. Respawning platforms right here.
ありました。ドラゴンハーフの一人。子供の時ドラゴンハーフになったせいか、見た目も性格も幼く、人間だった頃の母親を今も忘れないでいる。しかし残忍さと狡猾さは、狡猾さでは他の二人をはるかに上回る。チビや化け物、予売されること何よりも嫌う。
Try to avoid the Skelly Boy.
プレステ3のアーカイブズ、
Spawns all
な
over
るほどね。
platforms. We're now at a 1 in 4 chance. Looks like I guessed right though. Unfortunately, every time they respawn a platform, they gain more HP. But again, glitching out the death animation with Cryo with the explosion there, finishing up that fight. Writhing on the floor in pain, we think we've won this fight, so we're just gonna leave, leaving the demon to their own devices. That's not gonna come back to bite us in the butt at all. Meanwhile, we're gonna make our way in. We have Halfus to fight. Gonna exact our revenge for Vilhern.
形状子供っぽいですね。
Earlier. And that first level over there to the top right is red herring. I believe it spawns an item, but we're only concerned with this lever right here in the top left corner. Gonna go ahead and turn it, ignore the sorceresses, and run on to proceed through the level. Gonna go ahead and switch to Thunder Magic right here. Not only is it gonna help us with this next encounter, it's also gonna be used on the boss exclusively when we fight Halfus. His weakness is Thunder Magic. So we're running in the middle of the room here. Spawn the orbs. The knights are kind of playing nice here while they're beating me up. There we go. We trigger the explosion there, and thankfully they dropped an HP pickup. So very kind of them. Going to take that for safety reasons. And in this room, we're going to have the spinning wheels of death again. And on top of one of them is going to be perched that defensive upgrade talisman. I'm going to see if I can get that. Just barely got clipped right there. It's okay, though. We're going to keep moving on. And we're on to the Halfus fight. Now, Halfus is channeling his best Rubicante here, in which at the beginning of the fight, he's going to spawn a max HP and a max MP refill for me to take before I fight him as honorably as possible. But unlike Rubicante, we're just going to run up and
健
blast
康ハードにないっていうと、やっ
being
ぱり
disrespectful as we
ハー
can.
ドルは高くなりますね。
And really showing off the lingering hitbox effects with Thunder Magic here. Gonna miss this one as well. There we go. Gonna magic out of
Halfus.
this because there's a better spot to cast magic, and it's gonna be right underneath of him. When he flies up in the corner here, what we want to do is try to cast Thunder right here. I am gonna take some damage.
ドラゴンハーフの一
When
人
he
で
kicks down,
野
he's
生
gonna
に
clip
ラン
one of
ス
the
を
Thunder orbs and then linger
怪物
long
と
enough
す
to
る。
be clipped again.
半永久的な生に疲れ死を望んでいる。しかし、ドラゴンハーフを殺せるのは負けを持つ滅粒子だけであるため、4章の主人公から挑発して、不毛な生に終止符を打とうとするが、どのシナリオを得ても、今一本のところでクロセルの妨害や望んでいた仕掛かりをもたわせることないまま物語は完結してしまう。だそうです。意外と悲しい設定持ってますね。
Just as we predicted, breaking his death animation, and that's Halfus. Gonna go ahead and prep fire magic for the next boss fight immediately following this.
ウィキペディア参照です。
So as Halfus writhes on the ground in pain, we deny him a warrior's defeat and instead ignore him to go
負
fight
けを持
the
ってい
dragon
る
Talon.
この主人公じゃないと、そのドラゴンハーフっていうのは倒せな
Unfortunately,
く
this was another
て、
fight that took 5
そいつを倒すために冒険しましょうっていう感じなん
However,
で
that
しょう
was
かね。
before we discovered the magic that is Fire 3 and Aftershocks. So you're gonna see me just
ド
fireballs here.
ドラゴントラと、
Just fire.
なるほど。負けを持ってないと倒せない。
Stage 2 here. Unfortunately, mistiming that. We're gonna go ahead for a backup right here. Hit the weak spot, which is its head. Yes, a head grew out of its head. You did not miss.
アロンドラゴンってやつかな。
Not aliens inspired.
第4章ドラゴンクロセルによって、
Not here.
生み出された魔法生物で、体内に口があり、ある程度ダメージを受けると、上の口から頭のようなものを吐き出す異形の竜っ
And down goes Talon.
ぽいですね。
Again, a fight made incredibly short due to the manipulation of the magic.
要は化け物だそうです。
And that is the end of this chapter. So Mihail, thinking that he defeated
はめれるんですね。
form, throws down his sword into the ground in victory, only to find it snatched away from him in the final moments by the demon being tricked. And now we play
ほん
as
で
the
また
Princess
継承パート
Hebinx,
入りました
and
ね。
she will be our final character of the game. So this is the last chapter. And unfortunately, because all of the other magic swords have been stolen by the demon Crassel, the Dark King is on the rise. The resurrection is imminent. We are on our way to not only find our missing twin brother, but to find our missing sword and stop the
多
world.
分、邪竜復
of the
活
world.
かな。
This chapter highlights basically how carried our protagonists have
ミ
been
ハイル
through
が
the
行方
entire
不明に
game.
なり、代わりに
Without
姉
a
の
magic
ア
sword,
ンナが主人
not
公と。
only is our defense lower,
はいはい。
our offense is lower, and our magic powers.
多分これかな。アンナ、ジラート、レインスタークさんかな、多分。ジラート帝国の公女さん。双子の、読めないで、弟はミハエル。高い教養と気品、そして超一流の剣技で各国から求婚が絶えないが、いろいろとあって、お見合いは失敗続きと。
But unfortunately, since we don't, these guys are going to put up a really tough fight. They're going to have a ton of HP. We're going to do very little damage to them. I'm going to try to
で、
impale
この方はまだ魔剣を持ってなくっ
them.
て、魔剣イグニスを手に入れようって冒険してるっぽいですね。
She has a spin now on Impale. That spin has active hitboxes the entire time you're spinning around in the air. It also benefits from pushing you away from enemies who have iframes, so I don't get hit by that Executioner. Sometimes that Executioner likes to go on his villain arc and be an absolute menace. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad for me this time. I'm gonna run over here, jump over this spike, jump over this spike, jump over this spike. There we go. Those spikes don't lower or raise, they're just in static positions. And over here to another really annoying fight. Now, zombies normally haven't been a problem, but these guys, extra tough. And we're introduced to a winged demon here, getting advantage of basically our low damage causes us sometimes to get multi-hits. It's advantage and disadvantage. Managed to take out that zombie before he could transform. Did not double jump right there, my mistake. And again, trying to group up enemies as much as possible to take them down. A lot of repeating over and over again the same attack just for safety reasons, though. We're gonna go ahead and have this guy.
3本の魔剣を揃えてラスボスを復活させるのが目的と。なるほど。が敵の目的。なるほど。
Spamming Impale safer. Just for that reason right there. We are in the danger zone, so I am gonna go ahead and pop a heal. And you'll see right here, just outside of the shockwave. Not being nice to me tonight, but that's okay. And down goes the winged demon. Gonna go ahead and switch the fire for this next fight up here. Again, I could have waited for that heal spell, but I wasn't confident I wasn't gonna get outmaneuvered by that winged demon. You can die on that fight very easily. And if you die at any point in this game, thankfully I've been pretty deathless. If you die at any point, you start at the very beginning of the level. Very punishing to die in a speed run in this game. So with this Centaur, we're going to bully with Fireball instead of Thunder. It just has a way more consistent setup than Thunder would. And if this town looked familiar, it's because it is. We are back in the kingdom of Raxus. Unfortunately, it's fallen due to the rise of demon activity.
本当だ。3つの魔剣揃えてなんかやろうとしてますね。
Getting ready to summon the Dragon King back from the underworld. And we're on to the Raxus Castle ruins. Back where it all began with Clovis. And you'll see the castle here is a little worse for wear. Since the kingdom has fallen, it just has fallen in disrepair. Pillars are broken, walls are crumbling, floors are in disrepair. But thankfully someone was kind enough to leave behind a full magic power in that crate there, so we're going to pick that up. Dodge these executioners and just bully this Rhinoid as best we can. We don't want him to get a single action off. Unfortunately, not doing a lot of damage to him, again, because of our lackluster magic and lacking a magic sword. But we bullied that Rhinoid there specifically so we can get that key to drop so we can open this door. And again, back to the all-star dream team of the Imperial Knights. They're going to come at me and give me some major hang time. There we go, but we're going to throw up a Thunder Orb. And now I'm going to try to get them lured into the after explosions. There we go. Very nice. See if we can do it to the Imperial Knight here as well. Pick up the scroll before we run out of max MP. Lure him over for some free damage so we don't have to spend any magic power. Block that attack. And again, try to lure him out for this last bait over here. Taking his time, waddling over. It's okay, though. Down for the count he goes. Drummer going in hard on this track. trying to get those drum fills in.
They didn't have to go so hard, but they definitely did.
That seems to be a trend with games I play, whether it's Mystic Quest or this game. It's a game that the music does not deserve to go as hard as it does, but they do, and I love it for them. Again, more zombies. These are a little nicer than the ones that we fought with the winged demons before. They have more generous timings with not as active iframes. I think it's because the devs threw in those 5 enemies and like, that's a bit much. Let's tone down the zombies a little bit. And it works out. We get through here. And through this door, we're going to find our twin brother, Mihail. Unfortunately, he has been mortally wounded by the demon Krasil. So we opt to pursue and avenge our brother because if you're not a Barclay, you're not exacting revenge. And so we now aim to stop the Demon King's resurrection and exact revenge for our brother who collapses from his wounds. Onto the Underworld Passage. This is the scariest level in the game. I know we're not at the end, but this is the scariest. Typically, you know, your threats are put at the end of the game, but right here in the final chapter, you have very low offense, very low defense, very low HP. Enemies in here hit like freight trains, and you have very little resources to combat the problems that face you. So I have to be a little conservative with my use of Fireball and other spells in here. I need to make sure I preserve enough magic and HP to get through some of the fights. And then at the final door, when we get there, I am going to fight a regular enemy that is absolutely terrifying. Can literally kill me in 2 hits if I'm not safe. So I will have a little bit of quiet time for that section right there. But on the build up here, we're just going to be moving through and defeating enemies, opening doors, getting pickups, making sure I manage my HP and mana up appropriately. Here we get double winged demons here. Normally you would try to heal through them, but right here, Thunder and the lingering hitboxes will do
今、
us
5章いろいろと調べてみてるんですけど、ちょっとやっぱ資料がないですね。
Unfortunately, not close enough for the follow-up to be killed by the lingering.
このゲーム普通にケンタウロスいます。
So instead, we defeat him physically and we move on through the door. Here we're going to have an acid pit. I don't want to use any mana, so we're going to try to go ahead and get through here. Sorry, next room. I got my rooms mixed up. This one we just need to light a candle. Again, why mana conservation is key. Again, you see the generous hitbox on that fireball, just absolutely gigantic. Lighting that candle from halfway across the room. Room full of bats here. We're going to go ahead and cast Thunder once the winged demon descends. And hopefully the bats run into the Thunder orbs here. There we go. Getting another max MP pickup. There we go. Our 3rd hit. And we're using that Rising Slash here again to get quick, heavy damage off on these enemies. And our last Mind Magic upgrade for the run. Mind Magic hasn't been upgraded this whole time, but
5章は復活したラスボスへの対抗策探し。ただそれがその4本目の魔剣ってやつなんでしょう。多分。
At level 1 you get 1, at level 2 you get 2 mines at a time. We only ever run mines into enemies, so it really doesn't help us out too much. The only thing it really does is also increase the travel speed of mines once you lay them. Unfortunately, it does not increase the cast time, so it has that ridiculously long wind up every time you try to lay a mine. So you'll see me use it 1 or 2 more times for enemies with weakness. Especially coming up here near the end, but otherwise I'm not going to be using Mind Magic. Got to jump there. It looks like I would have gotten away from that hitbox scot-free on that ice attack, but if I did not jump, I would have gotten clipped in the back. And if you get hit by ice magic, you freeze in place. It's a very long down animation. You fly across the room after getting frozen. Very extra. So we try not to get hit by it at all. I'm going to grab this lithograph right here for some backup. Max MP, and on top of that trap, I'm going to try to grab this max MP. If I get hit, I will heal myself to full just because of how scary this encounter is. Thankfully, it didn't get hit, and here comes the bad encounter, chat. This is a stone enemy, very similar to Rockchan, but not nearly as friendly. The reason is it has
ですね。毒キノコこれ取っちゃうと HP が多分減るっぽいんで、相当いっぱい置いてあります。何も考えずに済んだら 6の子だけで死んじゃいそう。
Basically, think of it being grabbed by Zangief, and you know he was at least 2 people's lengths away, but you got spinning pile drive anyways. That's what it's like getting hit by this monster. And that slam attack right there, that's the one I'm trying to avoid. So I am taking this safe. Dying here would mean losing at least 5 to 6 minutes, having to go through the entire dungeon again, trying to bait that out. Unfortunately, getting hit, showing just how much damage that does. Going to go ahead and safety heal. Getting one more hit here could kill me. So I am going to go ahead and safety heal, bait out another dive,
ん
backflip through it
これ
with
どういう形してるん
defeating the scariest enemy in the game.
こんな謎の石像。
Very much. And we are through it now. Now it's fun time. We went through our trials. We went through our difficult levels. We learned that there is a 4th magic sword, and we also learned through an exposition dump that I will skip through that the magic swords that we've been carrying and using this time are actually angels. They have turned themselves into swords for valors to wield to fight off dragons. Yes, you heard me right.
う
We've
ん
been
ですね。
fighting dragons with angels turned into swords this whole time.
アンダーワールド
Other swords were captured, so
エ
the
ント
last
ラン
vanguard
ス。
here, Ignis, turns himself into the most powerful magic sword in existence for us to
あ、
take
今、多分これ
on
手に入れましたね。4本目の負け、
in
イ
a
グニ
final
ス。
showdown. And
さっ
man,
きとなん
it
か
goes
レイ
to
ピア
let
みたいな
us
の
know
と違
he's
っ
a power
て
fantasy. I don't know what
強
will
そうにな
happen.
ってますね。
Enemy here dies super
これ
fast.
で
Magic
今そいつを
is
手に入れたか
just
ら、
chaos
ラスボス
energy
倒しに行けるよねって
These cave slugs are a
感じ
menace
なのかな。
regardless of how powerful you are. But you saw how little damage you take there. You literally take 1 damage there. Your defense is back up to where it should be. Your attack power is back up to where it should be. Your magic's on full power. You are just having a great time. And in these next 2 levels, they're going to be shoving HP upgrades at me like crazy. My HP bar is literally going to double here just to get me prepped for the final fight because they really want you to take a victory lap before taking on the final dungeon here. So getting past these baculas and spikes with no problem is going to wiggle a little bit. Unfortunately, didn't wiggle enough to get past the spikes timing.
So basically, you were the Dragon Valor all along.
Correct. And to show off how a Dragon Valerie I can be now, we're going to shoot laser beams with healing magic. So to all my mains
イグニス。3本の負けがダメ。あ、バックアップみたいな感じなんですね。ちゃんと3本目ダメになった時用の対策があるのは非常にいいですね。
Moving back to a mandatory Cyclops right here. The only Cyclops we see, I believe it shares the same attack and like animations as another enemy. I cannot remember for the life of me which one it is. But goes down with a couple mind magic right here. Will drop a chalice. I need to pick up that chalice before I can open the door. It is mandatory. Some spikes are going to spawn right here. We're going to very lingering hitbox. Gonna go ahead and
今ギリギリ食らっちゃいましたね。
right here. Didn't want to spend any more MP, but I do need to get these pickups for some routing. And just seeing how much longer Stealth 3 lasts here, just going to town. And now we have Red Knights. These are very mean, but again, just like purple Giant Knights, we're just gonna blow them up, run up to them, cast some Thunder Magic, and then while they're wandering around, grab their MP pickup while they get blown up by the Aftershocks. Up to 74 MP there, a ton of magic should be well more than enough for the final encounter. On to the City of Demons here. Yes, you saw that there was a shop down here. I wasn't lying, there are shops in the underworld. Unfortunately, after this one, we are going to have a mandatory shop after the City of Demons, so be ready. Until then, though, we're
ですね、
going
バ
to
ックアップ
the
取っといて、ちゃんと事故に備えるのはいいですね。
They're trapped in here with us. We are at full power and we mean business. So we're going to run up here and again, laser beam demons to death because they are weak to healing magic. Down they go, one shot. Very cathartic for those who might have struggled.
これ今気づいたんですけど、このヒールって悪魔基本的に特攻があるっぽいですね。自分回復させる以外にも攻撃手段としても使ってそうですね、これは。
Challenge to them. They're just here to show how much more powerful you are after getting this sword. I'm running past a couple boxes here. This room is a red herring. You would think that you would need to fight these skeletons and these demons and get through all of them. Nope, you just need to run over here and grab a lever, but also a key. So there's going to be a key over here in this crate. We need to make sure we grab that on our way out. Strategically dodging all those fights. I don't feel like fighting any of them. Fighting them is slow. And my MP
回復エ
looks
フ
a
ェク
little
トは無
low
敵
here,
か
chat.
つアンデ
No
アンデ
worries
あ
that the
アンデ
door
ッ
up
ド
here
系
will
に
be
ダ
a
メージ
full
と。は
MP
いはい。
restore. So no need to be concerned about my magic restoration.
So I do have a very special donation to read.
All right.
I have
Fire
a
away.
$10 donation from Rockchan that says, "Hi, Hebinx."
Hi, Rock-chan. Alrighty, so on through these fire traps. Here we're going to manipulate with a double slash. It's faster than hammer blowing through these barricades because there's 3 of them.
ダブルスラッシュがうんたらかんたら
Dash
って言って
cancel
ます。
out of those 3 attacks right there, getting through. And up here, we're being introduced to even more new things. So you see this little slime here. He's like, why is there slime here hanging out with 2 crystal knights? And what's going on? Oh, there's a bomb. Blink and you miss it, they're gone. And even more new elements introduced in this next room up here. We're going to see enemies we haven't even seen before. We're 3 levels literally from the end of the game, and the game is throwing new things at us all the time, constantly keeping us on our toes here. So right here, we're going to blast the paladins with thunder, quickly switch to fire magic. There's a mystic knight right over here. Get her with the fireball. And out we go. Out of the city of demons. Unskippable shop, red.
All right. Well, while you're shopping, I want to show some love for our community artists. We have LLK, who designed the RPG Limit Break logo, and Mega Wheezy and It's Kaza, my friend, who are responsible for designing several of the emotes, which you can access by subscribing to RPG Limit Break's Twitch channel. All the revenue from the subscriptions, bits, and the ads we run contribute to funding our marathons, and your support in this is critical to helping us put on these wonderful events year after year.
Got a little bit more time. There's going to be some more dialogue.
Alrighty, well then we can also shout out the people that do our foreign language restreams. We have the French restream at Le French Restream and our Japanese restream at Japanese_restream. And if those can help you out, please go and send them some love as well. Of course, we have another artist to shout out, which deserves special thanks, and that's the one that worked on our overlays, Oro, who can be found on Twitter at OroLen.
Awesome. Thank you very much. This is the very end and our very last unskippable shop. We're through them, chat. We're done. No more shopping. Only revenge. We're going to run through the demonic forest here, and then we're on to the final level. The demonic forest here has
今
what
聞
I
き逃
refer
して
to
しまったん
lovingly
ですけど、
as
リスト
the
リーム、
pit of
ジャ
shame.
パニーズリストリームに
Hopefully
つい
you
て
don't
話
get
して
the
まし
show
た。もしかして
off,
現
but
地で。
you could get unfortunate platforming. No, never mind. We're not doing the pit of shame. I'm getting my levels mixed up. No, we are. We are. Yes. I'm right. I'm wrong. So, we have some very tight platforming as we go through here. If we fall down any of these platforms, we go into what I call the pit of shame, where we have to backtrack 3 screens to the left to get back up through that tree trunk with a hole in it, just to try that platforming all over again.
なるほど。
Now we have our introduction to dragonets here, and we have a centaur, but you know what we do to the centaurs? We bully them with fire magic. Just fireball.
Hello.
And move on through here. Couple zombies, we're gonna run right past them. Everybody say hi to the pit from Mortal Kombat 2.
Hi, Pit.
Aww. And on to a switch that we had to push to run through a room with
That
some
is-
cool
also,
pyrotechnics, but they're pretty innocuous. On to some mana pickup right here. The game really is trying to force feed you to make you feel as powerful as possible. Again, like I said, our HP is now doubled from what it was from where we started. And you have to go out of your way. And hey, Rock-chan brought some friends. This is a little hairy. Not gonna lie. I have been talking
Oh,
bad about
nice.
Rock-chan the whole time. And he
Yeah.
brought friends just to give me the
え、
business.
デーモンドラゴン。あ、じゃあ、ロックドラ、ロックデーモンか。ロックデーモン3匹。すごいですね。ああ、なるほど。
Also, Rock-chan has a tendency to drop HP drops just for friendliness because he loves the blow uppies.
That's just the ones that we saw before. They all just wanted to say hi one more time.
All right, they needed more blow uppies. Hey, say hi to the axe demons. You're never going to see them again. They're just going to look around weirdly. You see those enemies once in this run, you never see them again. More assassins, so you know what we do, chat. Say it with me now. Just fireball. then that's the demonic forest. Easy peasy. Now on to the Dungeon of Eternity. Or Dungeons of Eternity. This is actually a two-part level. It's so large that it has two distinct
ダンジョン・オブ・
but this is the final
エン
run
プ
here.
ティ。
So chat, if there's any incentives that are hinging on me completing this run, if there's any donations you want to get in before the start of the next one, you have until I complete this level in about 20 minutes? 15, 20 minutes. So we're going to run to the right over here. Those wisps I'm never going to fight, so unfortunately you will have to deal with that chiming. Run past the stingrays that don't make any sense. And we're going to get into another double demon room right here. We know what to do here. Get ready for the laser beams. And down they go.
回復呪文強いですね。
Very chill groove coming into the Dungeons of Eternity. Really just grooving here. We're going to go up into this first door. We're not going to touch that lever quite yet. And we're going to have some very mean platforms. These platforms will fall if you stay on them for too long. They'll fall forward. So I have to be very tight with my timing and very precise with my jumping here. Sometimes they immediately fall. Sometimes they give you a nice little wiggle. It's random which one they do, so I always err on the side of caution and jump immediately, which can force a one-frame jump, unfortunately, but I'd rather get a one-frame jump than have the pillars fall, miss my jump, and then have to reload the room. You might see me do that here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We're through it. Awesome. No need to reload the room here. If those pillars fall and I don't make it across, I have to walk out, walk back in. We meet our first use and our last use of a unique mechanic here called a thunder switch. So I have to use a thunder cell.
これいろいろとギミックがあって難しそうです。
I have to do this 4 times in this room. So that's 1. I love how you can hear the explosions off screen. There's our magic power. Refills our MP back up to full. You have to be very mindful of your MP consumption in this dungeon. If you're not mindful of it, it will run out and you won't be able to hit the switches and you'll be soft locked. It's not very nice. Now onto the lever. We're going to pull it here. We're going to go onto the south section of this room, onto our next thunder switch. Onto some weird conveyor belts with bats. I always get hit by this bat, and it's never nice. I just take my lumps and I move on. Oop, almost missed my timing on that jump there, but we managed to recover, no problem. This room's going to have a couple enemies I have to defeat to move on. I believe they're sorceresses, though, so you know what to do, chat. Fireball! Fireball! And we're going to hit our last upgrade of Ice Magic. You know, the final dungeon's still getting upgrades. Ice Magic has no use beyond this point, though. So,
アイスマジックがうんたらかんたらって言ってます。
onto our next thunder
今のが
switch
新しい氷の呪文
here.
なのか
Sorry
な
for the pulsing noise the wisps make. Unfortunately, I can't control that. You're going to hear that every time I'm in this room. I'm not going to stop and fight them because that's slow. We're going to wait for that explosion to finish and hit the second thunder switch right here.
No ice, only fireball.
Correct, only fireball. And now we get baited by this platform. You saw me clip right into it. The devs just really don't want you to get it the first try. These are actual convicts. When you fight them, their name is convict on their health bar down there. So when you get banished, when you do crimes in this world, you don't go to jail, you go straight to the underworld.
ですね。これ世代継承していくゲームですね。
Don't do crimes, kids. Meanwhile,
おそらく今第5章
double jumping's
なのかな
way cooler, so I'm just gonna double jump around these
で、一応司会進行としてね、私いますけど、一切、このゲーム知識ないので、コメント欄等でストーリーの補足とかしていただけると非常に助かります。今上の方にありますイベント中もね、解説、応募 OK なので、ぜひね、声出してもいいよっていう方は、やっていただけると助かります。
No block pushing, instead, double jumping. That's how you solve your problems, chat. Don't push blocks. Link could learn a lot here. If he just double jumped in his dungeons, he would get through them no problem. Sorceresses go down in one fireball. We're saving MP here. Grabbing that key, moving on. And back to more double jumping. Back through here, through the upper door that we left through, there's going to be a locked door at the end of where the rising platform room was with the convicts that we needed that key for. All that just to open up the switch right here. And the devs were nice enough here to give you an MP pickup of 10, just in case you ran out of MP, didn't have enough to hit this last switch. They give it to you here. With all 4 switches activated, we can go through this door. And then the devs are right back to their cheekiness again. That is the door to the final boss. Unfortunately, we can't get through it. We need a key. So unfortunately, we have to raise the lever here, go through, and go to a completely second half of this dungeon before we run to the final boss. Now, technically, this level goes to another level, and then when we come back here, it's an entirely different level with different enemies and different layout. So I'm sure that door is not active. I've tried to clip through.
嘘です、多分。
But
終わりかも。
$100 bounty out on that door. If you can get through that door somehow.
ラスボスの前にクロセル戦があって、その後ラスボスっぽいですね。
Crystal Knight's not being nice to me tonight. That's okay. Not getting my timing on my dash slash. It's okay though. This is I believe the last time we have to do this with a Crystal Knight. So say goodbye to Mr. Aww. We're not gonna hear from him again, I believe. Here we have 2 demons from the beginning of the game, but we don't have to fight them at all. So we're just gonna say hi and bye. And onto a Mystic Knight. We know what to do. Just fireball. And we're up to 82 MP chat. We have more than enough to get through the rest
多
of the
分
game.
これでラスボス戦かな。
Onto the second half of the Dungeons of Eternity here. I wasn't kidding. This is 2 levels guised as 1. And we're about to meet True Evil, chat. I warned you about them before. I'll warn you about them again. It's the Starfish. The Menaces are back. Truly a sign that they spawn from the underworld and are out to destroy us. So we're out to blow them up before they can dive at us. Defeating all of the... Hello, last Starfish. Where you at? There he is, hiding off screen. Defeating all the Starfish here will cause this platform to raise.
人手、海なのに人手がいます。まあ、ステータス的な問題はきっと奏者様のね、技量があれば全然大丈夫でしょう。
Shoutouts to implementing new stuff at the very last dungeon of the game. These archers are here, along with archer traps. I am going to fireball them as best I can and try to get them shot by their own archer traps to get through this room quickly. Over here, we have a very new mechanic. It's a 4-directional lever. Thankfully, we only need to pull it to the right to spawn the key that we need. And we're
火力さえ足りればまあ、
lower down one of those gates
が
and putting it to the left would spawn a chalice. Pulling it down
低
lower
くても
with
なん
another
とかな
gate.
るんで
That's
すか。
stuff we
なる
just
ほ
need
ど。
to do. There's one shot.
火力そもそもあれなのかな。
Three shots.
レベルとかないから、もう剣手に入れた時点で最強火力なんですかね、多分。
Making our way back through the demonic starfish over here. They are out to get me, man. They really do not like me. I'm trying to get on this platform. We're going to go east this time. Ride the platform on over. Get a little momentum right there with a little spin. Jump early. Get over here. Onto a very cathartic room. This monster terrorized us before, but now we got a magic sword.
あ、出ました、また
Blow it up.
特徴的な。
Get our revenge.
あ、聞いちゃった。
That's the name of the game, chat. On to more flame traps, and again, say it with me, chat. If it can't see you,
It can't hurt you.
there we go. So pop a stealth right here. Thankfully, my platform timing here
ステルス使いましたね。
I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to see my shadow to get up here. Onto a room, we're going to switch to Thunder. All the enemies in here are weak to Thunder damage. I'm going to stay as far south as I can. These pillars will fall if I get close to them. I'm going to try to lure. There we go. There's some mushrooms down here. We're going to avoid them, jumping up on this platform. Trying to get this window with the flame timing down to just barely avoid that flame trap. Onto some very mean dragonets. They're not mean on the way in. I have to double back through this room on the way out. And because they're facing westward when I come in, they will unfortunately do a 360 spin in whatever direction I approach them from and more than likely clip me on the way out. Hopefully they don't, but we're going to hide from these cheese graters. Again, if it can't see you, can't hurt you. Try to get this, there we go, magic powder, power. And just stay hidden from those, and then we're going to come into this room and make a big
トラ
old
ッ
leap of
プ待てない
faith
のは
on
低
this platform.
CP
Never
だと
worried.
きつい。あ、でもトラップがそのダメージきついって感じですか。今落ちちゃいましたけど大丈夫ですかこれ。
4 rooms ago.
あ、大丈夫そうですね。
All that just for key.
で、魔法を無限に打てるモードになってます。
Upper platform to push a switch to activate an elevator so we can get out of here. Say goodbye to the flaming platforms. We're never going to see those again. It was nice knowing you.
ステルスは多分ダメージ量とかその辺の地形効果全無視できるっぽいんで、相当強いですね。
Unfortunately, it's pretty slow. And there's the end of our infinite magic. It's okay though. We get enough MP to get through the run. I'm going to go ahead and grab the backup heal right here. Turn invisible and run on acid. Listen to that crunching.
無敵というよりか、見た感じはダメージ床が無敵になるだと思います。敵のダメージを無効化されてたらごめんなさい。
Be up. On the way out.
説明欄には自分の姿を消し敵の目を欺くことができますとだけ書いてあるんで、なんで地形ダメージが無効なのかは知りません。そろそろ EST 的にもうラスボスに入ってもおかしくない頃合い。
Back to the first section of the Dungeon of Eternity here. We're going to have a couple fights. One of them with a friend you all know and love, the big, the dopey, the oblivious, giant.
地形も欺いてますね。
We know what to do for him. We're going to give him the good old 1-2 combo of Mind Magic into Thunder.
ジャイアントナイト君この色だっけ。
Here, going to lure him back just a little bit. Come on. Come on. Taking a swing at me. Not very kosher, but it's okay. He's going to spawn a key right here. There we go. Going to run around these mushrooms right here. Again, mushrooms really out to get me. Along with starfish. I don't know why. Grabbing fire magic. The game gives me a full HP and full MP potion right here. And we're back at the drawbridges, so we're going to go ahead and lower the gate now that we have the key to the final boss door. We have 2 bosses. Long walk to this door, chat. All right, got to get in serious mode here. So our first fight here is against Krassel. It's a refight, very much like the original fight. However, the pillars here have much more HP. They'll be destroyed in the first hit like last time, but after subsequent respawns, they get more and more HP. So depending on RNG here, this fight can be pretty slow or pretty fast. We'll see how Krassel treats me tonight. Again, trying to get the fireball to hit the wall to trigger the explosion or hit the skeletons to trigger the explosion before hitting Krassel herself. 1 in 3 chance. Nope, 1 in 4. Here we go. I'm going to try to lower the health on this platform here. I got baited. It's okay. There's another one. Got hit, but that's okay. Another shot. 3 more should do it here. I'm going to try to get a couple more hits on this platform
えっ
just
と、
so I can one
ク
shot
ロ
it in
ク
case
ロー
she
セル、
jumps to it.
クロ
There we go.
クロー
That's
セ
good
ルでし
enough.
たっけ？クローセル戦の2回目なんで、もうこれラスボスですね。
50-50 here. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be the close one. Ah, getting bullied.
この前戦った時よりも取り巻きの雑魚は強くなってますね。
I am getting trolled here. 1, 2. Oh no, desperation attack. That's not what I wanted to see. 1,
パターンもほぼ一緒ですね。
2, 3, 1. Ah, you would. Getting trolled by Crassel here. This is a huge time.
これ足場調整して、最初の足場に乗った瞬間に叩き落としたかったっぽかったですけど、失敗しちゃいましたけど、倒しましたね。で、倒して、終わりかと思いきや、やったか？やったか？なんか不穏ですね。ということで、なんか復活しちゃったらしいですね。味だかな。3発で死んじゃうの
？I found that one day just out of frustration, spamming fireball as soon as the fight started.
味だはか。まあさすがにね、第2形態ありますよね。
Taking a key out of my page right here. Gonna go ahead and heal. A little low on HP. That scream right there is the pattern I want.
味だはかさん。
There we go. That's the pattern I want. Trying to get him hit by the shockwave.
おー、すごい、今までのボスよりも攻撃パターンがしっかりしてる。さすがラスボス。
Into another fireball again. He's learning, chat. He's adapting into a beam attack. This is wild.
おー、ビーム。
But not unrecoverable.
すごい、迫力満点ですね。
Try to be cheeky with a fireball cast right there. Into the counter swipe.
すごい。やる気ありますね。
That's the pattern I'm looking for. Now, one thing I have to warn you of, chat, if I do not get the final hit with an impale on the head here, it will not be time. Let's see. Nope. There we go. And time.
ここ重要なんですよ。これ最後、ラスボスの頭叩かないと、こいつ復活します。なんか攻略法にも書いてないらしいんですけども、頭叩かないとダメらしいです。ということで、ジジイ、お疲れ様です。
Desmond and Mutuo, those three have been incredible in helping cultivate this route. I could not do this all myself. It is truly a community effort. It's a very, very small community. I'm proud to be of it. And I hope you all enjoyed this run of Dragon Valor.
ということで、
Gem in the rough.
ドラゴンバラーでした。
I hope you all loved it, chat. But that is going to do it for me. Thanks so much for having me, RPG Limit Break. And let's go ahead and get back on track to getting on time. Thank you so much for watching.
ということで切り替わりました。そして、私の方も司会交代になりますので、失礼します。お疲れ様でした。
Really entertaining run. Thanks for the fun dialogue and the expert gameplay.